Chapter 1629. 1629 The 5 elements above 1629's head ground his feet on the yin and yang poles. What kind of enemy has our Dragon Phoenix Empire provoked? In the north of the Dragon Phoenix Imperial City, tens of millions of people were standing at the back. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers of the Imperial City were staring at the void in front of them. There was no enemy in the void, but that terrifying aura and killing intent had already charged at them from dozens of kilometers away. This caused everyone in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire to reveal extremely grave and shocked expressions. Even Feng Luan, Lan Qingyu, and the others watched with grave expressions. Woo woo. At this moment, a whistling sound was heard. Little Blue's incomparably huge body slowly flew over. On Little Blue's body stood many disciples of the Dragon Palace. The Heavenly Eye Arrow Division, the Starwood Dragon Seed, the Thunder Division, the Dragon Guard. The disciples of the Dragon Palace stared at the sky in the north with sharp eyes. The experts of the Dragon Palace are here too. With the experts of the Dragon Palace here, we have nothing to worry about. Not necessarily. Even the experts of the Dragon Palace are here. The enemy must be very powerful. Everyone in the Imperial City was discussing in shock when they saw the giant beast and the members of the Dragon Palace. Everyone in the Dragon Phoenix Empire knew that the Dragon Palace was much more powerful than the entire Dragon Phoenix Empire. They felt a chill in their hearts as they let out a sigh of relief. The enemy that could make the experts of the Dragon Palace come here was definitely not weak. Roar. Ha ha ha, Dragon Phoenix Empire, run? Do you think you can escape? Today, even if you cross the region, I will destroy you completely. At this moment, the roars of fierce beasts and demonic beasts came from the north. Then, a domineering voice came and figures appeared faintly. What's that? Upon hearing these voices, the expressions of everyone in the Dragon and Phoenix Imperial City changed drastically as they stared fixedly at the north. Figures slowly appeared. First, 6 old men who were riding on terrifying demonic beasts appeared in everyone's line of sight. Following closely behind them were a group of experts who were exuding a terrifying aura and had arrogant expressions on their faces. From the moment they entered the Flowing Sea region and passed by a few cities, all the experts in the vast region discovered that the Flowing Sea region was such trash. In the entire city, they could easily pull out a void interpretation expert and a few transcendents to destroy them. They were on completely different levels. All of them were filled with strong confidence towards this cross-region battle. All disciples of the vast region, listen up. An elder of the Wuji Empire rode on the shadow lion and lightly shouted, yes. The 120,000 experts of the vast region responded loudly. Kill the enemy. The Supreme Headmaster roared, his face filled with a ferocious killing intent. Kill. An earth-shaking roar came from the mouth of the 120,000 experts of the vast region. The 120,000 people quickly flew towards the Dragon Phoenix Imperial City. The powerful aura that each of them carried directly swarmed forward. Over 10,000 insightful Void Martial experts, the lowest rank 9 extraordinary experts, charged over with a terrifying killing intent. The entire sky underwent a terrifying transformation, and the clouds in the sky directly scattered. An invisible and suffocating aura condensed in front of them. An even more powerful aura directly charged over like a fierce wind and tsunami. Get ready. All the generals of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire saw the charging aura and their faces changed drastically as they immediately shouted loudly. Yes. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers stared at the front and shouted loudly. Oh no. Feng Luan's expression slightly changed when she saw the charging aura. Buzz. A staff appeared in her hand instantly. She spread out her arm and blocked the terrifying aura in front of her. Boom. The two auras collided, and the terrifying aura was directly blocked by half by Feng Luan. However, this was after all the aura of the strongest army in the vast area. The remaining aura directly swept towards the back. Not good. What kind of power is this? Oh my god, what a terrifying pressure. The hundreds of thousands of soldiers felt the aura coming towards them. It was as if death was pressing down on their necks. Ah! All the soldiers below Transcendent Level 9 all retreated backwards, their legs trembling as they fell to the ground. What? This, just the impact of the aura, how can it be so terrifying? Who are these people? How can they be so strong? The tens of millions of people in the imperial city behind watched this scene in shock. Just the impact of the aura, more than half of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire's most elite army actually collapsed to the ground. How could they fight? This was just the impact of the aura. Everyone's faces were filled with terror. Only my sect, Southern Royal Family, and Wuji Empire, the three major forces of the vast region, have all arrived. When those generals saw this scene, their faces all became unsightly. They stared at the 120,000 troops in front of them with some fear in their hearts. When Feng Luan saw this scene, her face also became gloomy. In terms of pure strength, if the Dragon Palace wasn't present, the current Dragon and Phoenix Empire wouldn't even be a match for the only sect. Even if they had the Dragon Palace, they wouldn't be a match for the Wuji Empire. Haha, the trash in the Liuhai area. We can kill more than half of them with just one charge. The trash area is the trash area. They dare to start a war in our vast area. Today, we will destroy them. After being arrogant in our vast area, they still want to escape. The 120,000 strong army flew 5 kilometers ahead. They were flying in the sky, and when they saw that the army had fallen with a single attack from them, their faces revealed an arrogant expression. The mocking words were said without restraint, and everyone's faces revealed disdainful expressions. Hee hee. The 6th 9th level profound void tier experts also laughed coldly. Everyone from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, kneel down and bow your heads. We will give you all a complete corpse. An ancestor from the Wuji Empire held a dark magic staff in his hand as he spoke from above. Wuji Empire, you bunch of hypocrites, do you really think that we are afraid of you? Lan Qingyu stared at them as she spoke with an icy expression. Barbarian goddess, do you really think that our vast region is afraid of your little Liuhai Empire? A patriarch of Wuji Empire said indifferently. Dragon Phoenix Empire, you entered our vast region to stir up trouble and harm our disciples. Our vast region, the three superforces, led all the experts in the vast region to come and kill you. Today will be the day you die. Wuji King said to the Dragon and Phoenix Empire with a righteous expression. Blood must be repaid in blood. Dragon and Phoenix Empire, go and reunite with the Sky Devil. The Supreme Patriarch raised his hand with a grim expression. Everyone from the Southern Royal Family also raised their weapons with hatred. Chapter 1630. 1630 was standing in the middle of the yin and yang poles with the 5 elements grinding on top of his head. The vast area. Our Dragon and Phoenix Empire has provoked the vast area. They are actually the experts of the vast area. Moreover, all of their experts have been mobilized. My God, how are we supposed to defend against them? This isn't a battle of the same level at all. The vast area. It's over, it's over. The tens of millions of people behind the Dragon Phoenix Empire heard their words and their faces instantly turned pale. The vast region was also known as the Upper Region by the Flowing Sea Region. If the Flowing Sea Region was a small village, then the vast region was a city. The two were not on the same level in terms of level or number of experts. If all the experts in the vast area came to destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, how could they resist? All the experts in the vast area, get ready. Don't leave a single one alive. I want nothing to grow here. The Supreme Sect leader roared with a savage expression. Only blood could be used to pay tribute to the people of their sect who had died. Die. The Supreme Sect leader raised his arm, and a palm that was 10 kilometers wide appeared in the air. In the eyes of everyone in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, the enormous palm was like the anger of a god. Everyone was shocked. When had they ever seen such a terrifying attack? Buzz. A red phoenix pattern appeared between Feng Luan's eyebrows, and she waved the staff in her hand. A firebird flapped its enormous wings and directly met the enormous palm. Come, destroy this bunch of trash. Kill everyone from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Kill them all. Hear, a bunch of trash. How dare they act so arrogantly in our vast area? Die. Under the Supreme Hierarch's order, All the experts from the 120,000 corps instantly released a terrifying killing intent. They all held weapons and charged forward. Members of the Dragon Palace, prepare to kill. Prime Minister Gui frowned and immediately ordered when he saw the situation. Ding. Congratulations to the host for merging the heart of light and darkness and comprehending the Dharma idol, yin-yang dual polarity. Ding. Congratulations to the host for merging the 5 elements of light and darkness and evolving into a yin-yang 5 elements dragon. Ding. Congratulations to the host for mastering the 7 elements of light and darkness and comprehending the Dharma idol, yin-yang 5 elements arms bowl. Ding. The light and dark 5 elements have fused. The light and dark fire dragon eyes have evolved into the yin-yang 5 elements dragon eyes. Outside the Imperial City, at the instant when the war broke out, system notifications appeared in Wang Xian's mind in the dragon pool in the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian, who was lying quietly in the Dragon Palace, slowly opened his pair of dragon eyes. One was yin and the other was yang. The 5 elements were circulating. His pair of dragon eyes seemed to be able to illuminate the heavens. His body was slowly floating above the dragon pool. An incomparably huge Taiji diagram appeared below his body. The Taiji diagram was about 200 meters in size. One was light and the other was dark. In the area of light, there was a dark divine dragon entrenched. In the dark area, there was a light divine dragon entrenched. The 2 divine dragons were lifelike. Phew, I've finally completely fused with them. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with excitement. The fusion of light and dark and the fusion of the 5 elements was much stronger than he had imagined. I've comprehended 2 types of Dharma images. Wang Xian's heart skipped a beat. Name, Wang Xian. Race, yin-yang 5 elements divine dragon, able to transform into a human. Level, 4th level of the void interpretation stage, 3rd form of the divine dragon transformation. Dragon crystal, 123. 112,764 billion 10,000 billion. Avatar, rules the water tribe below its level. Devourer of life to extract dragon glass. Control the 5 elements. Kung Fu, dragon transformation. Supernatural power, soul, spirit, yin and yang 5 elements dragon eyes. Facsimile, 5 elements big mill, palm dragon country, dragon head world, 10,000 li dragon body, yin and yang poles, yin and yang 5 elements bowl. Dragon Palace, level 3. Dragon Palace member, 19,796. The attributes have undergone a huge change. The supernatural powers, light and darkness are gone. The aspect of the abyss demon dragon is also gone. This is because the yin and yang bowl of the 5 elements can completely replace the supernatural powers and aspect. Wang Xian looked at his attributes and was very satisfied. He was considered the first yin and yang dragon of the 5 elements in the history of the divine dragon clan. He was a dragon of 7 attributes. There was a yin and a yang in his eyes. There were 5 elements surrounding him. As he felt the violent power in his body, Wang Xian felt that his strength had increased by at least 1 level. It took me more than 8 months to resurrect this time. Guan Shuqing and the rest are worried. I didn't even know to welcome them when I woke up. Wang Xian thought to himself. He moved his body and instantly appeared in the Dragon King's hall. Greetings, Dragon King. The clam girl in the Dragon King's palace immediately greeted him respectfully. Hey, where are the Dragon Queen and the rest? Where are the people from the Dragon Palace? Wang Xian's gaze swept across the Dragon Palace. Under the eyes of the yin-yang and 5 elements dragon, there were not many members in the entire Dragon Palace. Reporting to the Dragon King, the experts from the vast region have come to attack the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. The members of the Dragon Palace are currently. Before the clam girl could finish her sentence, Wang Xian suddenly lifted his dragon head. His yin and yang eyes seemed to be able to see through the void as he looked in the direction of the Dragon and Phoenix Imperial City, the solipsistic sect, the Southern Royal Family, and the Wuji Empire. Good. Is the entire force from the vast region here? As he swept his gaze across, a terrifying killing intent burst out from Wang Xian's eyes. Yin and yang circulated, and the 5 elements flowed. His body disappeared instantly. The control of yin and yang, teleportation. The current strange demon possessed the Dharma idol of teleportation. It could teleport within a radius of 10 kilometers. And the current Wang Xian could teleport within a radius of 20 kilometers. Furthermore, he could teleport twice consecutively. After that, he only needed 10 minutes of rest. Teleportation was originally the symbol of a powerhouse in the realm of longevity. However, Wang Xian was the same as Xiao Lan. As one of the top bloodlines in the universe, they were able to possess such talent before reaching the realm of longevity. After 2 teleportations, Wang Xian's figure instantly appeared 40 kilometers away. Following that, his dragon body flew at a terrifying speed. No matter what the reason is, I will make all of you pay a heavy price today. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with a terrifying killing intent. Kill. His eyes were staring straight ahead. The 2 cold pupils formed an illusory dragon eye of the yin-yang 5 elements. The 2 dragon eyes were each 10 meters in size. The clear pupils were emitting a dense and imposing aura. The dragon eyes charged forward at an even more terrifying speed. Kill. On the battlefield, the Supreme Hierarch's palm was defeated by Feng Luan. The 120,000 experts of the vast area attacked the hundreds of thousands of soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and the members of the Dragon Palace with ferocious expressions. The aura of absolute suppression made them look ferocious and excited. Let's take action and finish them off as soon as possible. The 3 patriarchs of the Wuji Empire looked at each other and said indifferently, "Okay." The 3 people nodded slowly. "You are forcing me." When Feng Luan saw the 6 rank 9 void interpretation experts preparing to attack, the flames in her eyes jumped. Roar. At this moment, a dragon roar was heard. What's that? 2 eyes. Everyone looked over, and when they saw 2 10-meter-long dragon eyes, they were slightly stunned. Vast area, are you here to die? Chapter 1631. 1631. Above 1631's head, the 5 elements were grinding against each other. Are you looking for death in this vast area? 2 huge pupils flew over. One was black and the other was white, and the 5 elements were surrounding them. Seeing these pupils, everyone couldn't help but feel slightly shocked. These pupils were too strange. However, what shocked everyone even more was that the dragon pupils actually made a sound. The 2 dragon eyes were suspended in the air for 1,000 meters, and they were filled with killing intent as they stared at everyone in the vast area. What are these things? The 3 ancestors of the Wuji Empire who were about to make a move were slightly stunned as they stared at the 2 enormous dragon eyes with some vigilance. What are those? What strange pupils? All the soldiers and citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire looked over with faces filled with shock, and their eyes were filled with doubt. 2 vivid pupils floated in the sky, as if they were monitoring the heavens. Under the gaze of these pupils, everyone felt their hearts palpitate. It's the Dragon King. It's Xiaoxian. Xiaoxian has been resurrected. All the disciples of the Dragon Palace, Guan Shuqing, and the others looked excited when they saw this pair of pupils and the familiar aura. I'm asking you, are you here to die? Another cold voice filled with killing intent was heard. This cold voice didn't come from that pair of strange and mysterious eyes, but from the east. Everyone had already stopped what they were doing and looked to the east in unison. A figure 150 meters tall. Everyone was extremely familiar with this figure. Because this figure had stirred up the wind and clouds in the entire vast area. Compared to the monstrous demonic chi or the figure that covered the sky and covered the sun, the figure in the east was only 150 meters tall. However, the 5 elements millstone that was floating in the sky had a circumference of 10 kilometers. It was also the yin-yang tai chi that was floating below. The 5 elements millstone was above his head while he was standing on the yin-yang tai chi. The 5 elements millstone was spinning while the yin-yang tai chi was spinning. Wang Xian was suspended in the middle as he stared coldly at everyone in the vast area. It's the Dragon King. Haha, it's the Dragon King. The Dragon King is here. This is so cool. Is the Dragon King a god? What is that thing that looks like a millstone in the sky? What is that light and darkness thing beneath him? It's simply the descent of a god. The Dragon King is here. As long as the Dragon King is here, what do we have to fear in the vast region? Before the members of the Dragon Palace could get excited, all the citizens of the Dragon Phoenix Imperial City cheered excitedly. In the eyes of the people of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, the Dragon King had long become an invincible god. From the establishment of the Dragon Phoenix Empire to the unification of the Flowing Sea region by the Dragon Phoenix Empire, it had only been less than 3 years. Every time the Dragon and Phoenix Empire faced a crisis, the Dragon King would be able to resolve it easily. The people's trust in the Dragon King had reached the level of blind worship. Upon seeing Wang Xian's appearance, everyone's faces were filled with excitement and excitement. Phew, little Xian's strength seems to be much stronger than before. Feng Luan heaved a sigh of relief when she saw Wang Xian flying over in a domineering manner. Once she transformed into a fire phoenix, she would really be on a path of no return. What? This is the Sky Demon. This is the Sky Demon. Isn't the Sky Demon already dead? How is this possible? What a terrifying aura. Who is he? However, at this moment, everyone in the vast region was stunned. The Wang Xian who flew over was exactly the same as the Sky Demon they saw back then. Even his voice was the same. However, wasn't the Heavenly Demon already dead? How could he still appear? Heavenly Demon, I didn't expect you to still be alive. The Supreme Headmaster was the first to recognize Wang Xian's aura. When he saw Wang Xian who was exuding a powerful aura, his eyes were filled with brutal killing intent. The Heavenly Demon was actually alive. Wuji Empire, I didn't expect you guys to get involved as well. Wang Xian completely ignored the Supreme Sect leader. The current him could completely disregard the solipsistic sect. He stared at the 3 patriarchs of Wuji Empire and swept his gaze across everyone in Wuji Empire. There was no emotion in his eyes. I didn't expect Reverend Wang to still be alive. When Patriarch Dark Eye saw Wang Xian's sudden appearance, he frowned slightly. Priest Wang, the name of the Saint of Light, was conferred by Patriarch Dark Eye back then. Let me introduce myself. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian. Anyone who dares to offend the Dragon Palace or the Dragon Phoenix Empire will be executed. The killing intent on Wang Xian's body gathered rapidly as his figure moved. Carrying the 5 elements Great Mill and Yin-Yang Tai Chi, he attacked the 3 patriarchs of the Wuji Empire directly. Arrogant. So what if you are a Sky Demon? Do you think you can fight against our Wuji Empire? The Patriarch of Dark Patterns, who had just advanced to the 9th level of the see-through void tier, shouted coldly when he saw Wang Xian coming at him. He waved his arm and numerous dark spears that were 1,000 meters in size directly attacked Wang Xian. Since you have provoked our Wuji Empire, we will let you die again. The other Patriarch of the Wuji Empire stared at Wang Xian with murderous intent. One by one, the Dark Lions attacked Wang Xian. The Wuji Empire is not something you can invade. Patriarch of the Dark Eye sighed softly. Hee. Wang Xian smiled when he saw the 3 patriarchs of the Wuji Empire attacking him. I'll use you guys to test my strength. Yin-Yang Dual Polarity, activate. Buzz. Yin-Yang Dual Polarity, light and darkness enveloped the area. The shadow of Yin and Yang Taiji appeared around Wang Xian. Buzz. 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 The long spears, the berserk beasts, and the ghostly shadows landed on Wang Xian's body and were easily deflected by the yin-yang dual polarity. When the 3 patriarchs of Dark Eye Clan saw how easily Wang Xian deflected their attacks, they were slightly shocked. Yin and Yang concealment. Wang Xian's eyes revealed a hint of coldness. His gaze landed on the weakest patriarch of Dark Mark Clan, and his figure moved. Boom. On the yin and yang extremes, the light instantly rippled in the surroundings. Everything within a radius of 10 kilometers was instantly covered by the light. Disappear. The 3 patriarchs of the Wuji Empire felt the light around them and their bodies shook. The monstrous devil flames quickly chased away the light around them. Pu. Arth. Suddenly, a scream came out of nowhere. Dark Mark. The faces of Patriarch Dark Eye and the other patriarch changed drastically when they heard the voice. They quickly turned around. Wuji Empire, No matter what your reason is, if you dare to invade the Dragon Phoenix Empire, we will fight to the death in the future. Today, I want to see how many of you can escape from the flowing sea region. A cold voice came from afar. Dark-Eye Patriarch and the other patriarch's eyes instantly turned blood red. They stared at the dark mark that was directly cut off by the dragon claw. An expert at level 9 of the see-through realm was actually killed in an instant. Moreover, this was in a 1-on-3 situation. All the disciples of the Dragon Palace and all the generals of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, listen up. Kill. Wang Xian's voice covered the entire sky. Chapter 1632. 1632 Invincible Stance of 1632. Kill the enemy. Bang. A loud roar was heard. Carrying an invincible stance, the 5 elements grinding on top of his head and his feet stepping on the yin-yang Tai Kai. Wang Xian waved his dragon claw heavily. A corpse was thrown directly towards the front of the army of 120,000 people in the vast area. The Dark Mark Grandmaster, a newly advanced expert at level 9 of the see-through realm in the Wuji Empire, was actually killed in an instant. Furthermore, he was fighting against the other 2 patriarchs of the Wuji Empire at the same time. In front of the entire Dragon and Phoenix Empire, apart from Wang Xian, there was silence. The corpse landed heavily in front of them, causing everyone to widen their eyes. Their eyes were filled with astonishment. This was an expert from the Guardian clan of a level 9 see-through expert. Now, he was actually killed directly. In the past 1,000 years, there were only 2 level 9 see-through experts who died. And these 2 were all killed by the Sky Demon. The Sky Demon that has been resurrected seems to be even more terrifying than before. A terrified expression appeared on the faces of all the experts in the vast area. To instantly kill a rank 9 profound void martial expert, who could match such an invincible appearance? No one present could match him. This made them recall that 8 months ago, the Sky Demon led his subordinates to charge into the headquarters of the Lone Sect and kill Patriarch Feng Kai. After this battle, the vast region was shaken. However, the Sky Demon was even more terrifying now. Kill. All the members of the Dragon Palace roared with excitement when they saw the Dragon King kill a level 9 profound void martial expert. Ring, ring, ring. The Dolphin clan played the battle music, and all the archers of the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division charged forward with their bows and arrows. In the current Dragon Palace, there were more than 15,000 profound void martial experts, and only 5,000 disciples had yet to reach the profound void martial realm. Even the weakest insightful void stage powerhouse could resist against a second-level insightful void stage powerhouse. As for the 120,000 troops in the vast region, the number of insightful void stage powerhouses was only about the same as the Dragon Palace. However, with the addition of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire's insightful void stage powerhouses, there were more than 20,000 insightful void stage powerhouses in the flowing sea region. Just now, what was missing was the peak combat strength of the 9th level of the insightful void stage. Now that Wang Xian had arrived, there was no lack of peak combat strength. Kill. When the see-through level members of the Dragon Palace flew down from Xiaolan's body, all the powerhouses in the vast area were stunned. How can they have so many powerhouses? There are more than 10,000 of them. They also have more than 10,000 see-through level powerhouses. Oh my god, how can there be so many powerhouses in such a small flowing sea region? The 120,000 strong army trembled. At the strongest position, a group of profound void tier experts were resisting the arrows from the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division. However, just as they thought that they could withstand the arrows, a wave of special sound waves suddenly transmitted into their minds, causing the bodies of the profound void tier experts to stiffen. Ah! A miserable cry was emitted from the mouth of the profound void tier experts. The Heavenly Eye Arrow Division had 1,000 insightful void realm experts. With the help of the Dolphin clan, a round of arrows was shot down. In addition, the arrows were smeared with the poison created by the 8-pointed commander. In an instant, 200 to 300 insightful void realm experts were killed. This was an extremely terrifying number. Face the enemy. Face the enemy. We are a majestic and vast region. Why would we be afraid of a tiny place like the flowing sea region? Kill. When the king of Wuji saw the sudden burst of combat power from the Dragon Palace and the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, everyone was shocked and shouted loudly. Next, it's your turn. In the middle of the battlefield, Wang Xian looked at Patriarch Dark Eye and the other patriarch of Wuji Empire and said coldly. In the sky, an invisible destructive power swept towards the two of them. Kill. The two patriarchs from the Wuji Empire had extremely gloomy expressions. They gritted their teeth and growled. Eye of darkness. Dark storm. The two of them waved their arms and a terrifying dark light shot out from their eyes. The other one raised both his arms and the sky was instantly covered by darkness. Countless dark raindrops attacked Wang Xian. The two of you want to fight against me? After the short clash just now, Wang Xian had a better understanding of his own strength. The yin-yang taiji below him spun and numerous shadowy shadows of the taiji appeared around him. The dark storm and the eye of darkness landed on it, but they were all blocked outside. The most powerful aspect of the great grinding of the five elements was healing and destruction. The most powerful aspect of the yin-yang taiji was its defense and concealment. The yin-yang dual polarity was activated. As long as the attack power did not exceed a certain level, it would be able to completely block outside. Suppress. As the attacks landed around him and were blocked, Wang Xian shouted softly. Roar! 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 On the five elements millstone, the five divine dragons of the five elements roared and pulled the five elements millstone. Streams of energy of the five elements formed a mountain and headed straight for the two of them. The mountain peak, which was thousands of meters high and filled with the aura of destruction, looked extremely terrifying from a distance. Dark Mad Lion devours the sky. Dark Mad Lion devours the sky. The two patriarchs of Wuji dynasty waved their arms, and a 10,000-meter wide head of the Dark Mad Lion appeared in front of them. The Dark Mad Lion raised its head and opened its huge mouth, biting toward the huge mountain peak. Wang! A terrifying collision was heard, and the head of the Dark Lion, which was 10,000 meters long, trembled. Following that, it slowly trembled under the impact of the mountain peak and gradually disappeared. The mountain peak, which was filled with destructive aura, shook in the direction of the two patriarchs of the Wuji Empire. So powerful. Roar! 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 The faces of the two patriarchs of the Wuji Empire changed drastically. Their mount, the Dark Lion, which was a level 8 insightful void tier, died under the impact of the five elements' destructive power. Their bodies were also sent flying for thousands of meters. Southern Emperor Jianghe, come and help us. We are no match for the Sky Devil. Quick, quick. As the dark-eyed elder was sent flying, one of his palms was hit by the invisible destructive power, and two of his fingers disappeared immediately. His pitch-black pupils were filled with fear as he shouted loudly. What? The two patriarchs of the southern royal family were working together to fight against Xiao Lan. When they heard the patriarch of the Wuji Empire's plea for help, their expressions changed slightly. Southern royal family's Jianghe looked over uncertainly. He gestured to the other elder and flew over. With the three of us, kill the Sky Fiend as soon as possible. Nangong Jianghe flew over and roared loudly. It's enough that we can resist him, but you still want to kill him? Patriarch Dark Eye said with a gloomy face when he heard Nangong Jianghe's words. His gaze swept to the area below him, and his expression sank. The power of the flowing sea region had completely exceeded their imagination. Not only were the Skyfiends invincible, but there were also experts who were invincible. Sword Chi swept across several thousand meters. It was a ruthless and decisive golden swordfish. The thunder prawns that held the thunder hammer and thunder spear covered in lightning. The deadly arrows, the violent dark demon monkeys, and the dancing fiery red thorns. In the battle against their 120,000-strong army, they were actually at a complete advantage. If it were not for the fact that they had more profound Void Tier 8 powerhouses, they would have been defeated by now. Chapter 1633. 1633 in the Invincible stance of 1633. What? Nangong Jianghe, who was charging towards Wang Xian and the rest, heard the words of the Patriarch of Wuji Empire and his face instantly sank. Even with the strength of 3 people, they could only defend at most. The moment the Sky Demon appeared, he killed one of them. Now, he was fighting against 3 of them alone. There were also 2 experts at level 9 of the see-through void who were fighting against the supreme sect leader and another patriarch of the southern royal family. Their peak combat strength was completely on par. Woo woo woo. Right at this moment, Little Blue's furious voice was heard. Boom boom boom. Following that, a terrifying collision sound was heard. Southern Emperor Jianghe hurriedly looked in the direction where he flew over. Oh no. Looking over, his expression instantly darkened. Just now, the 2 experts of the southern royal family were fighting against this space behemoth, leaving several thousand meters long wounds on its body. Then, at the instant he got up, the enormous body of the behemoth directly crashed towards the direction of the 120,000-strong army below. The ancestor of the southern royal family directly stabbed a large blade that was several thousand meters long into the body of the behemoth. However, the terrifying behemoth seemed to feel no pain as it continued to charge forward. Its incomparably huge body immediately collided with the bodies of several hundred profound void martial experts. In an instant, several dozen weak profound void martial experts directly turned into blood mist. The bodies of several hundred others instantly became flat and lost their vitality. The blood mist entered the body of the giant beast and was quickly absorbed. The wounds healed at a terrifying speed. This scene caused another ancestor of the southern royal family to feel a wave of fear. The recovery and vitality of this space beast was too terrifying. He was alone. Even if the other party didn't retaliate or dodge, he would have to kill for a few minutes before he could kill it. And this giant beast had killed dozens of his subordinates in an instant. Dragon country in the palm. Wang Xian saw that their experts were working together to fight against him. There was no hint of fear on his face as he waved his dragon claws. In an instant, the huge dragon claw clawed downwards. He placed his target among the 120,000 soldiers below. How dare you get distracted when you are fighting with us? Fire is raging. Explode. Nanhuang Jianghe was furious when he saw Wang Xian ignoring the 3 of them and attacking downwards. He waved his hand and a fireball expanded at a terrifying speed. It attacked Wang Xian. Abyss Heaven-Piercing Spear. Abyss Heaven-Piercing Spear. Patriarch Dark Eye and the other Patriarch unleashed a powerful single-target attack in a fit of rage. Even though your Skyfiend is very strong now, he is not strong enough to ignore us. The 3 of them were filled with a monstrous killing intent. Let's try our strongest defensive Dharma idol. Yin-Yang 5 Elements Arms Bowl. Wang Xian growled and a Tai Chi arms bowl slowly appeared around him. Around the Tai Chi arms bowl, 5 divine dragons of the 5 elements circled around it. The arms bowl slowly draped over Wang Xian's dragon body. The entire arms bowl was like a cape. The pressure was overbearing. Placed on top of the dragon body, it gave off a sense of mystery and elegance. Powerhouses from the vast region, how dare you invade us? Die. The Yin-Yang 5 Elements Arms Bowl appeared. Wang Xian completely ignored the attacks of the 3 level 9 void interpretation stage powerhouses in the sky. His dragon claws, which were a few kilometers in size, directly attacked the dozens of level 8 void interpretation stage powerhouses below him. Oh no, the sky demon actually dares to divert his attention to deal with us. When the dozens of level 8 void interpretation stage powerhouses saw the terrifying dragon claws, their faces revealed a look of fear. They hurriedly dodged to the side. Roar. Dragon Head World. Wang Xian opened his dragon mouth and activated his Dharma idol once again. Dragon Head World. In an instant, a dragon mouth that was 3,000 to 4,000 meters in size shot out an invisible force of destruction. A long river appeared directly on the battlefield. Buzz. 7 to 8 powerhouses of the 8th level of the Seeping Void tier were covered by the long river of destruction. The Grey River passed through a distance of 20 kilometers. The Grey River drew a dividing line across the entire battlefield. However, what made everyone in the vast area even more fearful was that the river of 20 kilometers had drowned 7,000 to 8,000 people. These were 7,000 to 8,000 top-notch experts in the vast area. There was only a total of 120,000 troops, but 7,000 to 8,000 of them were wiped out in an instant. It was definitely a huge loss. Sky Demon, You're courting death. The two patriarchs of the Wuji Empire saw Wang Xian killing 7,000 to 8,000 experts in one move. Most of the people who were killed were from the Wuji Empire. This caused their eyes to turn red instantly. One of the patriarchs of the Wuji Empire moved. He did not attack Wang Xian. Since Wang Xian was killing their disciple, he had to return the favor. Yin-Yang 5 Elements Arms Bowl, Unravel. Wang Xian saw one of the patriarchs of the Wuji Empire flying toward the members of the Dragon Palace. There was a hint of coldness in his eyes. His body trembled. The Yin-Yang 5 Elements Arms Bowl on his body completely disintegrated. The Yin-Yang 5 Elements Arms Bowl was formed by the 5 elements power in his body, the light and darkness heart. The defense was almost invincible among the 9th level of the Void Interpretation stage. When the Yin-Yang 5 Elements Arms Bowl was unsealed, it immediately transformed into 3 divine dragons. The 5 elements Divine Dragon, the Light Divine Dragon, and the Darkness Demonic Dragon. Before Wang Xian had completely fused with the heart of light and darkness, he had a Dharma idol, the Abyss Demonic Dragon. Due to the heart of darkness, he could summon a powerful demonic dragon. After the light and darkness were completely fused, the Dharma idol, the Abyss Demonic Dragon, disappeared. However, the disappearance did not mean that Wang Xian could not use it. On the contrary, he was even more powerful now. The Yin-Yang 5 Elements Arms Bowl had transformed into 3 divine dragons. Each of them possessed the strength of a 9th level void interpretation. Even if they were only comparable to an expert like Patriarch of Dark Patterns who had just entered the 9th level void interpretation, they were still extremely terrifying. However, after the Yin-Yang 5 Elements Arms Bowl transformed into a divine dragon, Wang Xian's own strength would be reduced by a lot. He could only match up to an ordinary 9th level void interpretation. Even so, it was enough. Roar! 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 The 3 divine dragons let out 3 wild roars and attacked the 2 patriarchs of Wuji Empire and Nangong Jianghe respectively. Seeing the 3 divine dragons that suddenly flew out from Wang Xian's body, Patriarch Dark Eye and the other 2 had extremely ugly expressions on their faces. In particular, the aura emitted by the 3 divine dragons was not weak at all. Illusory items, kill them as soon as possible. Patriarch Dark Eye stared at the 3 divine dragons with his black eyes. His body trembled and an incomparably huge demonic shadow held a sickle in his hand as he charged towards the divine dark dragon. Roar! Roar! The divine dark dragon's body rolled and bit the demonic shadow heavily. Crap! Another patriarch of Wuji Empire who wanted to kill the disciples of the Dragon Palace was entangled by the light dragon god. After 2 collisions, his face turned ugly. It would take him at least 10 minutes or even half an hour to kill it. Dragon body of 10,000 miles. All the powerhouses in the vast area, take this. In the center of the area, a terrifying divine dragon was rampaging within a 10-kilometer radius. Without the power of light and darkness of the 5 elements, a divine dragon could kill in all directions just by relying on its physical body. Chapter 1634. 1634 Under the Invincible Stance of 1634. All the powerhouses in the vast region, take this. The huge dragon's voice spread across a radius of 100 kilometers. With a body of nearly 10 kilometers, dazzling dragon scales under the sunlight, and gigantic dragon claws, it directly crushed the powerhouses in the vast region. The war had only started for less than 10 minutes. Just now, Wang Xian's attack had killed 7 to 8 see-through void tier 8 experts and 7 to 8,000 other experts. This caused the vast area to be at a complete disadvantage. Now, Wang Xian once again relied on his powerful physical body to charge towards the remaining 110,000 troops. How the fuck is he going to receive the attack? Where's the Patriarch? Block the Sky Demon. Otherwise, how are we going to fight? An expert at level 7 of the see-through realm looked at the terrifying body within a 10-kilometer radius. He was so afraid that tears almost flowed down his face. Receive this attack. We are more than 1 meter in size. How can we receive an attack from a 10,000-meter-long creature? Who can receive it? Boom, boom, boom. However, even if they couldn't receive it, they had to receive it. Wang Xian waved his dragon claws and swept them with his powerful physical body. The air exploded as the dragon claws swept past. All the experts at the see-through realm and those at the half-step to the see-through realm were like ants in his eyes. Under his terrifying strength, all the figures were sent flying and their bodies were completely deflated. No one could withstand a single strike from Wang Xian. Even the experts at the 8th level of the see-through level were sent flying for thousands of meters by the terrifying dragon claws. They were only left with half their lives. The sounds of miserable shrieks could be heard continuously in an instant. The army that was left with only 110,000 soldiers was defeated immediately. Oh my God, the Dragon King is too violent. He is a godly beast that descended from the sky. He is so powerful. Haha. There are so many experts in the Dragon Palace. There are more than 10,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. This is too awesome. Invincible. The Dragon King is invincible. He can fight against 3 people at the same time. He is so powerful. The Dragon King is invincible, the Dragon Palace is invincible, and the experts in the high and mighty area are going to be defeated by us. With the Dragon Palace and the Dragon King here, who dares to mess with the Dragon and Phoenix Empire? Behind them, tens of millions of people in the Dragon and Phoenix Imperial City stared at the war with wide eyes. The powerhouses in the high and mighty area had arrived, and their momentum alone was enough to defeat them. However, the powerhouses in the high and mighty area were being slaughtered. The battle in the sky was like a fight between immortals. Especially the invincible posture of the Dragon King. It was deeply imprinted in everyone's mind. Our Phoenix Emperor is also very strong. With the Phoenix Emperor and the Dragon King in the future, our Dragon Phoenix dynasty might be able to establish a foundation for 10,000 years. The relationship between the Phoenix Emperor and the Dragon King is so good, and it's a man and a woman. Do you think that in the future, the balance of the war had been broken, and all the citizens of the Dragon Phoenix Imperial City heaved a heavy sigh of relief? They were talking excitedly. In fact, they were even discussing the private affairs between the Dragon King and the Empress. Stop the Sky Demon. We can't let him continue killing. All the disciples in the vast area, run. Patriarch Dark Eye was suppressing the divine Dark Dragon in front of him. However, he could not kill him quickly. Seeing Wang Xian wreaking havoc on the battlefield, the vast area was completely defeated. His pitch-black pupils were bloodshot as he roared loudly. Run now. This is too terrifying. Return to the vast area. Upon hearing Patriarch Dark Eye's order, the experts from the vast area who were defeated by Wang Xian on the battlefield below did not hesitate at all. They immediately fled in the direction of the vast area. Let's block the Sky Demon and the other 2 experts. Patriarch Dark Eye forcefully blocked the attack in front of him and attacked Wang Xian's dragon body. All the disciples of the Dragon Palace, chase after them. All the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, chase after them. Wang Xian ordered loudly while Feng Luan shouted as well. The experts from the vast region had already charged into the flowing sea region. How could they let them escape with peace of mind? Kill. All the members and experts of the Dragon Palace chased after the army from the vast region with excited faces. All the experts in the vast area who thought that they were gods had never thought that they would be so miserable. The appearance of the Dragon King and the experts of the Dragon Palace made them all feel terrified. Whoosh. The experts in the vast area fled, causing the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division to completely let go. Each of their members rode on the Phoenix Dragon Seed and shot life-chasing arrows at the half-step void interpretation experts of the extraordinary 9th rank. There was nothing they could do. The void interpretation experts were the fastest to escape, so they could only leave the weaker ones behind. After rounds of attacks, the corpses fell down like raindrops. Just a few rounds of attacks from the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division had killed more than 10,000 people. Why is it like this? Don't kill me. The weaker ones looked at the experts of the Dragon Palace and the soldiers of the Dragon Phoenix Empire with despair on their faces. They gritted their teeth and tried their best to escape. Is there any use in escaping? We will reach the vast area. The 2 patriarchs from the Wuji Empire, the two patriarchs from the southern royal family, and the supreme sect master were fighting against Wang Xian, Xiao Lan, and Feng Luan with all their might. Looking at the army that was fleeing in the vast area, Wang Xian revealed a mocking expression. "Sky Demon, it's impossible for you to destroy us." Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, Patriarch Dark Eye's expression changed drastically. The Sky Demon was actually going to attack their vast area. To the three superpowers, this was a great humiliation. Even if we can't destroy them, we can still cause the three superpowers to suffer heavy losses. Wang Xian revealed a cold smile. Wang Xian, Xiao Lan, and Feng Luan could completely suppress the 5 strongest experts in the vast region. However, it was a little difficult to kill them. Just like when he was in the Solitaire sect, after he consumed the violent blood pill, he could only use the method of mutual destruction if he wanted to kill Patriarch Feng Kai. With Wang Xian's current strength, he could fight against 4 people at the 9th level of the see-through void tier. 3 of them were not his match. As for 1 or 2 of them, he could kill them quickly with his full strength. However, it was extremely difficult to kill the 5 of them. If they were not careful, Xiao Lan and Feng Luan would be injured by both of them. Boom! 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 In the sky, their fight continued. Even if the 5 top-notch experts in the vast region were injured, they could only hold on. Because once they escaped, their vast region's 120,000-strong army would all remain here. If that was the case, the entire vast region would be completely crippled. Run! 10 minutes later, the 5 experts of the vast region gritted their teeth and directly fled towards the vast region with blackened faces. Little Xian, should we let Little Lan chase after them? Seeing the 5 experts from the vast area fleeing, Feng Luan raised her eyebrows and asked. "Chase them to the North Stream Sea. After that, we will gather our army and go to the vast area to have a good talk with them." Wang Xian stared at the 5 disappearing figures and said coldly. Chapter 1635. 1635 attacked the vast region. The vast region had gathered all their forces to invade their flowing sea region. This matter couldn't end so easily. Now, they had the ability to counterattack. At that time, the entire vast region would have to pay a huge price. Good. During the 8 months you've been resurrected, we've already entered the vast region. At that time, the Wuji dynasty didn't make a move. We were fighting against the southern royal family of the Soul Sky sect. After 8 months of battle, we obtained a large amount of resources. After stabilizing for 1 to 2 years, we were basically able to suppress the 2 superpowers. However, the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop must have given some benefits and resources to the Wuji Empire to make a move. Feng Luan nodded and said to Wang Xian. The Wuji Empire? The most ruthless imperial family. As expected, in their eyes, there are only benefits. As long as there are sufficient benefits, they can do anything. Wang Xian's eyes turned cold. He also knew that Feng Luan and the Dragon Palace had entered the vast region to become enemies with the 2 superpowers in order to avenge him. However, the appearance of the Wuji Empire had completely exceeded their expectations. Let's go, let's chase after them. Wang Xian's eyes turned cold. This time, he wanted to shock the entire vast region. He wanted to make half of the vast region submit to the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and the Dragon Palace. With the 5 elements grinding above his head and his feet stepping on the yin and yang poles, Wang Xian flew rapidly in the direction of the North Flow Sea. Along the way, there were corpses everywhere, all the way to the edge of the North Flow Sea. All the members of the Dragon Palace and the members of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire stopped by the sea. They were hesitating whether they should continue to pursue him. Dragon King, Phoenix Emperor, Dragon King. Seeing Wang Xian and Feng Luan flying over, all the soldiers and members of the Dragon Palace immediately shouted respectfully. The soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire stared at Wang Xian with respect. Prime Minister Gui, send someone to deliver the corpse to the Dragon Palace. The rest of the disciples of the Dragon Palace, rest for an hour and follow me on the expedition. All the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, rest for a while and follow me and the Dragon King on the expedition. Wang Xian ordered the members of the Dragon Palace. Feng Luan also said to the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. It's the Dragon King. It's the Phoenix Emperor. All the disciples of the Dragon Palace and the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire revealed an excited look. This time was completely different from the last time. This time, it was a real expedition. An expedition to the entire vast region. To conquer the vast region with a weak place like the flowing sea region. This was an unprecedented feat. The Dragon Phoenix Empire and Sky Demon Empire will counterattack our vast region. Everyone gather together. We will lead you back quickly. At this moment, at a location hundreds of kilometers away from the North Flowing Sea. The two patriarchs of the Wuji Empire, the two patriarchs of the Southern Royal Family, and the supreme sect leader of the solipsistic sect caught up with the fleeing army in the vast region. All the powerful warriors who had come with an awe-inspiring presence were now full of fear and embarrassment. The 120,000-strong army only had about 60,000 soldiers. They had lost half of them. This was something that none of them had expected. Especially the 5 patriarchs, whose faces were so gloomy that they almost bled. Patriarch Dark Eye of the Wuji dynasty clenched his fists, his face full of regret. This time, not only did the Wuji Empire not gain any benefits, they even suffered heavy losses. The benefits they gained were nothing compared to the losses they suffered. What? The Sky Fiend and Dragon Phoenix Empire are going to attack us? At the front, more than 10 middle-aged elders' expressions changed drastically as they cried out involuntarily. That's right. The Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Sky Fiend Empire will not be as simple as before. Our vast region will be in trouble this time. At least the Dragon Phoenix Empire will occupy more than half of the vast region's territory, the Wuji Empire's patriarch said with a dark expression. As both empires, they knew that the Dragon Phoenix Empire would definitely occupy a large area of territory and divide it up among themselves. This. The faces of the dozen middle-aged elders turned incomparably ugly. They were masters of the Life and Death Medicinal Pill Academy and the Holy Item Forging Academy. Once the Dragon Phoenix Empire entered, wouldn't they be finished? Moreover, how many places in the entire vast region were there for their Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop? The savage goddess giant beast can carry over 100,000 people. We must fly with all our might. Everyone from the Life and Death Pill Workshop, please give us all your pills to replenish our energy. We will take everyone and fly. Southern Emperor Jianghe took a deep breath and ordered the masters from the Life and Death Pill Workshop. Hurry up. The ancestor from the Wuji Empire shouted coldly when he saw the hesitant expression of the Life and Death Pill Workshop. Yes. The masters from the Life and Death Pill Workshop immediately nodded in fear. They did not dare to resist at all. The 5 big shots from the vast region were all filled with anger. Who cared about their identities? Gather together, let's go. In order to prevent the army of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire from catching up, the 5 top-tier experts could only do their best to bring them towards the vast region. Over 60,000 people, under the lead of the 5 experts, flew at 5 to 6 times their normal speed. In less than a day, the vast continent appeared in their line of sight. Looking at this familiar continent, the experts in the vast region all heaved a heavy sigh of relief. This battle in the flowing sea region was definitely a terrifying nightmare. The reappearance of the Sky Demon had killed a patriarch of the Wuji Empire in an invincible manner and suppressed all the experts in the vast region. As for them, they could only flee in panic. Now, they had finally escaped back. In a city near the North Flowing Sea, as the most border city, the area wasn't very large. The population wasn't very large either. But recently, many strangers had come to this city. This group of people had no other intentions. They were simply waiting for the experts of the vast area to return in triumph. There were even some weak sects that made banners and the like. Once the experts of the vast area returned, they would immediately welcome them and return in triumph. This caused this small city to become much livelier. Hey, look, who are those people? Hey, what a powerful aura. Why do they look like the experts of the flowing sea region? Suddenly, in the leisurely area by the sea, a middle-aged man looked towards a distant location with a stunned expression and said to his companion in surprise, "How is this possible? It will take at least 10 days for a group of experts from our vast area to travel back and forth to the flowing sea region. The companion beside him shook his head and looked up, slowly frowning. That's right. Although with the strength of our vast area, it will only take 1 or 2 hours at most to destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire in the flowing sea region, it will take nearly 10 days to fly back and forth. How? As the middle-aged man spoke, he stared at the group of people flying towards them from afar. Suddenly, his voice slowly faded away as he stared at the 5 familiar figures in front of him and the experts from the vast region behind him who were in a sorry state. How is this possible? Chapter 1636. 1636 launched a counterattack in the vast region. How is this possible? A cry of surprise came out of the middle-aged man's mouth. Those are the experts from our vast region? Oh my God, those 5 old men in front are some old ancestors. Why are they in such a sorry state and their expressions are extremely ugly? Why are there only 60,000 of the 120,000 troops that went there? What's going on? Did we lose half of our people in order to destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire? If I remember correctly, there were 6 patriarchs in the army, but there are only 5 now. Oh my God, could it be? At this moment, a cry of surprise came from the surrounding area. Everyone looked at the experts in the vast area in shock. They widened their eyes, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. I didn't expect that our vast region would suffer such a great loss when we set out to conquer a flowing sea region. Seeing all the experts of the vast region disappear, an old man said with a frown. That's right. It seems that the Dragon Phoenix Empire is really not simple. They could actually cause our vast region to suffer such heavy losses. A small region is able to fight against the experts of our vast region to such an extent. They can be considered to have no regrets even in death. I really didn't expect that a small flowing sea region would actually cause our vast region to suffer such heavy losses. Some people in the surroundings were discussing in shock. They were filled with shock at the loss of experts from the vast region. They were even more shocked by the strength of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. The vast region, our Dragon and Phoenix Empire is back, ha ha ha. How dare you invade us? Today, we will fight back and make all the factions in the vast region pay a heavy price. However, half an hour later, the people of the vast region were discussing the return of the experts from the vast region. Suddenly, a roar filled with fury and excitement came from the north flowing sea. The voice covered an area of more than 100 kilometers. What? Everyone in the city and by the sea was instantly stunned. Everyone looked in the direction of the north flowing sea in shock. This. When they saw the familiar giant beast, their eyes widened and their bodies trembled. Their faces were filled with shock. The flag of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire fluttered in the sky. Tens of thousands of experts who were emitting a strong murderous aura stood on the giant beast and stared coldly at the land in front of them. Compared to the previous arrival of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, this time, it was filled with fury and killing intent. People in the city below, listen up. Soon, the owner of this land will belong to our Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Just wait to submit. The giant beast came to the top of the city and a domineering voice sounded out. Wanton, arrogant, and confident. When everyone heard this, they opened their mouths slightly. The experts of our vast region didn't return in triumph. They were beaten back. Also, the Dragon Phoenix Empire of the flowing sea region is attacking. Oh my God! Everyone looked at this scene in disbelief. From the beginning to the end, they had never thought that the experts from the vast region would fail. Even if the 120,000-strong army only returned 60,000, or even if they returned early, they had never thought of this. This was because in their eyes, the vast region was invincible. Going to the flowing sea region was a piece of cake. No one had expected this outcome. Now, not only had their vast region suffered a great defeat, but the experts from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire had actually counterattacked. When they thought of this result, everyone was in an uproar. It's very difficult to destroy the 3 major factions. However, this time, we have to completely establish ourselves in the vast region. We have to occupy at least half of the territory. Let's head to the He clan first and get the information department of the He clan to move. After that, we will wreak havoc in the vast region for a few days. Wang Xian stood at the front. He had a clear understanding of what had happened during the 8 months he was resurrected. Although it was out of Wang Xian's expectations for the Wuji Empire to be enemies with them, he was very gratified by the help and support from the He clan and He Sui clan. His relationship with He Yuan was pretty good. He didn't want to turn against each other. Alright, let's head to the He clan first. Feng Luan nodded her head with a divine glow on her face. This time, their counterattack was a huge leap for the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Lan Qingyu made Xiaolan fly towards the He clan's territory. He clan, Holy Tree. From the He clan and He Sui clan joining the Dragon and Phoenix Empire's camp to the Wuji Empire's attack, the entire He clan and He Sui clan had fallen into a huge crisis. Especially in the past few days, when they heard that all the experts in the vast region, except for them, had left for the Flowing Sea region, some people became even more anxious. At this moment, the two large clans and millions of people had gathered around the Holy Tree. This made the He clan extremely crowded. All the He clan and He Sui clan members were also frowning. Sigh, we don't know how the Dragon Phoenix Empire's current situation is. Once they are destroyed, then we. In a wooden house on the Holy Tree, the higher-ups of the He clan and the experts of the He Sui clan sat in a room. They frowned and sighed. The atmosphere in the room was very solemn. Let's leave it to fate. Everything is our own choice. It's just that we didn't consider the life and death pill workshop and the holy item forging workshop, so the Wuji Empire took action. The clan leader of the He clan shook his head helplessly. Woo-woo. Huh. What's that sound? What a familiar sound. At this moment, an earth-shaking sound came from outside. The higher-ups of the two clans in the room were slightly shocked and immediately flew out. He Yuan, who was in the Holy Tree, also flew out of the room. He Yuan, everyone in the He clan, long time no see. Just as He Yuan flew out, the higher-ups of the He clan and He Sui clan also heard an extremely familiar voice. Around them, the entire He clan and He Sui clan, as well as millions of people, raised their heads to look at the sky. Due to Xiaolan's speed, the He clan could not react in time. Everyone was slightly stunned when they saw the young figure on the gigantic beast. This, Brother Wang Xian, you're still alive? You're still alive? He Yuan looked at the familiar voice and his face was filled with disbelief. The entire vast region knew about the death of the sky demon. Now, he was actually still alive. Who would dare to believe it? Of course. I haven't conquered the entire Transcendence continent yet. How could I possibly die? Wang Xian smiled faintly. His figure moved and he flew downwards. Feng Luan, Lan Qingyu, and the rest immediately followed behind and flew down. The sky demon is still alive. Empress Dragon and Phoenix and the Goddess of the Wilderness are both here. When the He clan and He Sui clan's higher-ups saw them flying over, they revealed a hint of excitement on their faces. As long as they were still here, they still had their backers. Chapter 1637. 1637. The 1637 Sky Demon was still divided into half. Welcome, Sky Demon. Looking at Wang Xian's figure, the He Sui clan and the He clan looked at each other. They could see the excitement in each other's eyes. The higher-ups of the two clans pursed their lips and immediately shouted at Wang Xian. Just call me Wang Xian. Speaking of which, the name Sky Demon was given by your He clan. When Wang Xian heard the respectful voices of the He clan's higher-ups, he smiled and shook his head. Phoenix Emperor, the Goddess of the Wilderness, Brother Wang Xian, please come in, please come in. The He clan and He Sui clan's higher-ups were all beaming as they hurriedly invited him in. Wang Xian nodded and looked at Feng Luan and the rest. Clan leader He Sui, everyone, it's our Dragon and Phoenix Empire that has dragged you down recently. However, from now on, you don't have to be so worried anymore. I'll have to trouble the He clan to mobilize your information department. Next, it's time for our Dragon and Phoenix Empire to retaliate. Feng Luan said to the He Sui clan's upper echelons with a smile. Retaliate. Everyone from the two clans was slightly stunned. Following that, A hint of fervor and excitement flashed across their eyes. Brother Wang Xian, the three superpowers led over 100,000 experts to attack the flowing sea region. Could it be that you managed to hold them off? At this moment, He Yuan, who was at the side, asked Wang Xian excitedly. We killed 60,000 experts and left an old ancestor of the Wuji Empire behind. Now that we are back, it is time for us to fight the three superpowers. Very soon, we will each take a place in the entire vast region. Wang Xian smiled and said to He Yuan, killing an old man and 60,000 experts. Brother Wang Xian, your strength. And haven't you already? He Yuan asked again with a face full of curiosity. With my current strength, it shouldn't be a problem for me to fight against a few people at level 9 of the see-through realm. I didn't die last time. Wang Xian smiled and said to He Yuan. When the higher-ups of the He clan and He Sui clan heard Wang Xian's words, they revealed an excited expression. Wang Xian and the rest had actually defeated the three superforces and a group of experts. It was simply terrifying. In the future, the vast region would no longer belong to the three superforces. Instead, it would belong to the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Brother Wang Xian, Emperor Phoenix, we will mobilize all our forces immediately. If you need any information, let us know. At the side, the He clan leader said excitedly. All the news about the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. We have already paid attention to the news about the three superpowers. Wang Xian said directly. Little Xian, what are you trying to do? Feng Luan asked when she heard Wang Xian's words. Naturally, we have to get rid of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. They have been finding trouble with us time and time again. They really think we are easy to bully. In addition, the Wuji Empire has to teach them a good lesson and destroy a few of their cities. Wang Xian said directly. The He clan and He Sui clan, who were at the side, were a little fearful when they heard that. They had casually gotten rid of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. They had also casually destroyed a few cities of the Wuji Empire. In the vast region, only the Sky Demon could say such words. All right. Feng Luan nodded her head in agreement. It's time to teach the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop a good lesson. Brother Wang Xian, Emperor Feng, the backers of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop are. After hesitating for a moment, the He Sui clan's clan leader said softly. Don't worry, we are very clear about their backers. Feng Luan shook her head. Rest for the night. We will make a move tomorrow. Wang Xian decided. Everyone from the He tribe and He Sui tribe nodded with excitement. At the same time, the He tribe and He Sui tribe members around the holy tree saw the Dragon and Phoenix Empire's soldiers descending again. The experts from the two tribes who had fought together with the Dragon and Phoenix Empire's soldiers immediately asked for some information out of curiosity. When they learned that the Dragon Phoenix Empire and Sky Demon had directly defeated the army of the vast region and launched a counterattack, excitement appeared on their faces. The Dragon Phoenix Empire and Sky Demon had defeated the three superpowers, and now, they had launched a counterattack. In the future, the vast region would completely change. The He clan and He Sui clan were the two races that the Dragon Phoenix Empire was closest to. In the future, their clans would definitely rise. In the future, there was no need for them to hide around the He clan's sacred tree. They would have a wider territory. At the same time, when the army from the vast region arrived at the Divine Kingdom ruins. Reporting, according to the urgent news, the Dragon Phoenix Empire's experts have entered the He clan's land. A message was transmitted to everyone's ears. Everyone from Skyfiend and the Dragon Phoenix Empire had arrived. Everyone knew clearly what they were doing here. They were attacking their vast territory. Everyone from the Southern royal family, follow me back. Upon hearing this news, Southern Emperor Jianghe and another patriarch shouted with a gloomy expression. It's the patriarch. A group of Southern royal family disciples hurriedly replied. If Skyfiend really goes to your Southern royal family, can you withstand him? Patriarch Dark Eye looked at everyone in the Southern royal family with an extremely unsightly expression as he said in a deep voice. The faces of the two Southern royal family's patriarchs instantly stiffened. How could they withstand the arrival of Skyfiend? Just Empress Dragon Phoenix and the Wilderness Goddess were enough to make their southern royal family suffer, not to mention the even more terrifying Skyfiend. Then what do you guys think we should do? Southern Emperor Jianghe's expression changed as he asked in a deep voice. At this time, once we separate, we'll just have to wait for each of us to break through. The Supreme Headmaster stood there with an embarrassed expression. He didn't dare to leave. With the enmity between the Solitaire sect and the Skyfiend, with the current strength of his Solitaire sect, they could be easily destroyed. Then what do we do now? If the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Sky Demon head to the nest of our southern royal family, our tens of thousands of years of foundation will be destroyed. Southern Royal River roared in a low voice. This was related to the rise and fall of their southern royal family. Now, the first thing we need to do is to join forces. We cannot be separated. Once we do, we will be destroyed one by one. Second, we need to sign an agreement with the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Although we are not their match, they will not be able to destroy us. If we really fight, it will not benefit anyone. Wuji King walked out and said in a deep voice, "Even if we sign an agreement, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire will have to agree." The two ancestors of the Southern Royal Family said in a deep voice, "The Dragon and Phoenix Empire is an empire. What they want is a domain and resources. They will not fight to the death." Wuji Nation Master analyzed. "I hope it's as you said. Now, should we send people to negotiate peace with the Dragon and Phoenix Empire?" Southern Emperor Jianghe said with a bad expression. "It's to negotiate peace, not peace." Dark Eye Patriarch sighed slightly. Right now, they didn't have the right to negotiate peace. They could only beg the other party to stop attacking. Chapter 1638. 1638. The 1638 Sky Demon was still divided in half. Then what should we do? Among the 60,000 people, a dozen middle-aged elders standing in the center said with extremely ugly expressions. They were the masters of the Life and Death Pill Academy and the Holy Item Forging Academy. Now we can't even protect ourselves. If you are worried about your own safety, you can stay here with us. We will protect you. Dark Eye Patriarch glanced at the two continent-level forces and said in a deep voice. However, Dark Eye Patriarch's words immediately made the masters' faces turn ugly. "Protect us. We'll give you a huge amount of resources. Alright, if you two super forces don't need protection, you can directly inform your higher-ups and ask them to send experts to destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire. That way, we'll be very grateful to you." An old man from the Life and Death Pill workshop wanted to say something, but he was immediately interrupted by the Wuji Kingdom's king. This time, the one who suffered the greatest loss could be said to be the Wuji Kingdom. Originally, they had been able to sit firmly on the fishing platform and hang high up. However, because of the Life and Death Pill workshop and the Holy Item Forging workshop, they had been dragged into the water. Now, it was no longer up to them to go ashore. When the masters of the two major forces heard the indifferent words of the Wuji King, their faces darkened. "Then we won't disturb you anymore. Let's go back to the Life and Death Pill Academy." The masters of the Life and Death Pill workshop left with angry faces. The masters of the Holy Item Forging workshop hesitated for a moment before leaving as well. "I don't believe that the Sky Demon dares to destroy our Life and Death Pill Academy and the Holy Item Forging Academy," the masters said with gloomy faces. As a continent-level faction, this was the first time they had been humiliated like this. Usually, even the three super factions were polite to them. "Let's go back to Wuji Empire now." Patriarch Dark Eye glanced at them and said in a deep voice, "Why don't you go back to our southern royal family?" Nanhuang Jianghe frowned and said immediately, "You." The faces of the two patriarchs of the Wuji Empire darkened. "How about this? We will temporarily stay in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom and build a base in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom in the future," the Supreme Hierarch said from the side. At this moment, he had restrained his arrogance a lot. The current solipsistic sect was weaker in front of both the Wuji Empire and the Southern Royal Family. Not to mention the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. After he finished speaking, he looked at the mysterious and ancient ruins of the Divine Kingdom. If the solipsistic sect wanted to survive, They could only obtain huge opportunities in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Alright, our Wuji Empire represents the three superpowers and seeks peace with the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, Patriarch Dark Eye said with a dark expression. The Supreme Hierarch and the Southern Royal Family's two patriarchs nodded with a dark expression. The 60,000 experts dispersed. In less than an hour, the news of the expedition spread throughout the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. It spread to the entire vast region at a terrifying speed. The 120,000 experts of the vast region were defeated in the Flowing Sea region. Half of them were killed or injured. One patriarch of the Wuji Empire perished. Skyfiend resurrected and suppressed all the patriarchs of the vast region in an invincible manner. Patriarch Dark Patterns of the Wuji Empire was killed on the spot. Our vast region was defeated. Skyfiend and Dragon Phoenix Empire counterattacked the vast area. In the future, the Dragon Phoenix Empire will each occupy a spot in the vast area. One by one, news came from the people who had escaped from the war. One by one, the news completely blew up the entire Divine Kingdom ruins. In the beginning, everyone in the Divine Kingdom ruins had the same thoughts as the people in the North Stream Sea City. But when the news reached their ears, everyone's faces were filled with shock. Skyfiend was not dead, and he had even suppressed the patriarchs of the three superpowers. The entire vast region had fled in defeat, and Skyfiend and the Dragon Phoenix Empire had returned to attack the vast region. The Divine Kingdom's ruins were shaken. Everyone was shaken. Especially the news of Skyfiend's resurrection. Because of the Sky Demon, the vast region was in turmoil. Now, because of the Sky Demon, the entire vast region was in turmoil once again. It was very likely that because of the Sky Demon, the vast region would be changed. And the news of the three superpowers preparing to seek peace was also spread out. It made everyone open their mouths and were extremely shocked. This sky was really going to change. Wang Xian, Emperor Phoenix, the Barbarian Goddess, and the Wuji Empire have sent news on behalf of the three superpowers. They want to make peace. Early the next morning, a group of higher-ups from the He clan and He Sui clan came over to report. Get them to prepare the conditions for making peace. Also, clan leader He, give us a share of the life and death sacred relic and the resources of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Wang Xian said to them directly. Yes, yes. Brother Wang Xian, are you going? Clan leader He nodded with a smile and asked curiously. Of course, I'm going to collect some interest. I haven't settled the grudge of them invading our Liu Hai region. Wang Xian smiled and flew straight into the sky. Emperor Phoenix, do you still need the help of the He clan and He Sui clan? The higher-ups of the He clan and He Sui clan asked immediately. No need. Oh right, tell the three major forces that we, the Dragon Phoenix Empire, want half of the territory in the vast area. Feng Luan said to them and followed closely behind Wang Xian. Half of the territory, hiss. The vast area is over 1,000,000 kilometers. If we take up half of it, the strength of the Dragon Phoenix Empire in the future. Everyone from the He clan and He Sui clan was shocked. Yesterday, Brother Wang Xian said that he wants to dominate the Transcendence continent. I wonder. At this moment, He Yuan, who was at the side, pursed his lips and looked at Wang Xian's figure with admiration. To have such a brother in one's life was truly a blessing that came from 8 lifetimes of cultivation. Brother Wang Xian is less than 30. He is less than 30 and is at the 9th level of the see-through void tier. In the future, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire will be the 6th great empire, the He clan leader said with certainty. They did not dare to imagine that he could dominate the supernatural continent. However, they were 80% confident that the Dragon and Phoenix Empire could be promoted to an empire. That was because there was an unprecedented person who was less than 30 years old at the 9th level of the profound void tier. It was destined that there would be no one in the future. Let's go. Our target is Qianyun City. In the sky, Lan Qingyu said to Xiao Lan. Qianyun City was the base of the Life and Death Pill Academy and the Holy Item Forging Academy. The first place they wanted to go was to destroy this place. Woo woo. Little Blue swayed his terrifying body and disappeared under the respectful gazes of the He clan and He Sui clan. When Little Blue flew in the sky, He passed by many cities and instantly attracted everyone's attention. Tianyun City is right in front of us. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop are at their headquarters in the vast region. 5 hours later, Tianyun City appeared in their sight. Destroy everyone from the two major factions and seize all their pills and weapons. Wang Xian looked down at the cities below and gave an order. It's the Dragon King. All the powerhouses of the Dragon Palace and the Dragon and Phoenix Empire responded loudly immediately. Chapter 1639. 1639. The 1639 Heavenly Devil Realm was still divided into half. Kill. An earth-shaking voice filled with killing intent resounded above Tianyun City. More than 10,000 experts from the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Dragon Palace flew down and dived down with killing intent. What's that? That giant beast is the giant beast of the wilderness goddess. That's the people from the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Why are they here? Didn't the experts from our vast area go to destroy them? Why are they here? When Xiaolan landed in the sky above Tianyun City and over 10,000 profound Void Realm experts swooped down, the entire Tianyun City trembled. Over 10,000 profound Void Realm experts. What kind of concept was that? There were only 20,000 profound Void Realm experts in the entire vast region. Now, over 10,000 of them had come to attack their city. It was simply overkill. Within Tianyun City, most people still did not know that the army from the vast region had returned in defeat. Damn it, the Sky Demon and Dragon Phoenix Empire really dare to attack us. It's over, it's over. They're crazy, they're crazy. At this moment, all the masters and experts from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop revealed embarrassed expressions. They looked at the terrifying experts descending from the sky with shock and anger. They had thought that the other party would be afraid of life and death and holy items, but they hadn't expected that the other party would be so brazen and rampant. Everyone from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Sacred Item Forging Workshop, die. A voice filled with killing intent sounded once again, and despair appeared on the faces of the people from the two large factions. The entire Tianyun City was filled with shock. They actually dared to kill the people from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Sacred Item Forging Workshop. This was a terrifying force on the continent. However, the swords and blood made them understand that they were killing two forces on the continent today. Screams of agony rang out instantly. They were the headquarters of the two major forces. In the entire city, half of the people belonged to the two major forces. Blood flowed like a river and screams of agony couldn't be resolved. Wang Xian, Feng Luan, and the rest stood on top of the city quietly, overlooking everything. An hour later, the massacre ended. All the treasures of the two major forces were plundered clean. The target is the Wuji Empire. Destroy 10 of their cities. In addition, send 10 teams of 100 people to see through the void. Destroy all the Life and Death Pill Workshops and Holy Item Forging Workshops in all the cities in the vast region. Wang Xian continued to give orders. Let's go to the Wuji Empire. 100-man teams, come down from the city that Xiaolan is passing through. Feng Luan and Lan Qingyu passed down the orders one by one. Woo woo. Xiaolan continued to fly. More than 10 hours later, the news of the destruction of Tianyun City and the Life and Death Pill Workshop and Holy Item Forging Workshop spread to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. It reached the ears of the three superpowers. Those two are continent-level factions. The Dragon Phoenix Empire and Sky Demon have no scruples and directly destroyed them. This is crazy. I heard that the giant beasts are flying in the vast region. Sky Demon is leading a group of experts to wreak havoc. The three superpowers and experts in our vast region are all gathered here in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. They aren't taking any action at all. The current Sky Demon is wreaking havoc in the vast region with an invincible aura. Who dares to stop them? In the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, when they heard that Wang Xian and the rest had destroyed Tianyun City, all of them were filled with shock. They even dared to destroy two mainland-level forces. What else would they not dare to do? Has the news of the peace request been sent over? At this moment, in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, a patriarch of the Wuji Empire heard the news of Tianyun City and asked with a gloomy face. Reporting to Patriarch, the news has already been sent over. It should be sent back very soon, a middle-aged man hurriedly replied as his forehead was covered in cold sweat. The 5 patriarchs had been sitting there for more than 10 hours without moving. They were waiting for all the news from the Dragon Phoenix Empire. The patriarchs of the 3 major factions would not be able to have peace for a day without being able to seek peace. Report. News has come from the He clan. Skyfiend and Empress Dragon Phoenix said that if they want peace, they have to take out half of the territory in the vast area and add conditions for them to see. Not long after, news from the He clan came and reported to the 5 patriarchs. Half of the territory in the vast area. Upon hearing this, the 2 patriarchs of the Wuji dynasty stood up with extremely ugly expressions. The territory of the Wuji Empire only occupied 1/10 of the vast territory. Now, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire had asked for half of the vast territory. This made their faces extremely ugly. What a big appetite. Not only do they want half of the territory, but they also want other conditions. The 2 patriarchs of the Southern royal family said with heavy breaths, full of coldness. The entire room was silent as if it was a prehistoric beast. The middle-aged man who was kneeling on the ground was trembling violently. Time passed slowly. Reporting to Patriarch, 5 cities of our Wuji Empire have been destroyed and all the treasures and resources have been plundered. More than 10 hours later, another piece of news arrived. Peng. The table beside Patriarch Dark Eye and another patriarch dissipated into fragments. Give them half of the domain, Southern Emperor River said expressionlessly. His appetite is not limited to that. The Supreme Hierarch said with a sullen face. The 3 major factions will take out some resources and pass the news of the resources to them. In addition, get the Dragon Phoenix Empire and Skyfiend Empire to come to the Divine Kingdom ruins. We will have a good discussion. Patriarch Dark Eye leaned back on his chair and said weakly. All right. Only the sect and the Southern royal family agreed. There was nothing they could do if they did not agree. Since they could not beat them in a fight, they could only risk their lives. However, they cherished their lives and did not dare to risk their lives. They could only compromise. If you want a domain, I'll give you a domain. If you want something else, I'll give you something else. Send the news over. Time slowly passed. And at that moment, after 2 to 3 days, the Divine Kingdom ruins and the vast region had completely boiled over. Tianyun City had been destroyed. The life and death pill workshops and holy item forging workshops in all the cities in the vast region had been attacked by the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. 10 cities in the Wuji Empire had already been plundered by the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and the Sky Demon Empire. What shocked them the most was that the 3 major forces had completely given up on resisting. Even when the cities of the Wuji Empire were plundered, no one resisted or took revenge. The Sky Demon was wreaking havoc and all the forces in the vast region bowed their heads. Everyone could foresee that in the future, the position of the leader of the vast region would already belong to someone. Oh, did they agree? There are still some conditions. Wang Xian looked at the message sent by the He clan and the corner of his mouth curled up slightly. You want to get rid of us just by relying on these? It's not enough, is it? Feng Luan looked at the conditions that they gave and a smile appeared on her face. Let's go to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom and have a good talk with them. Wang Xian stood in the sky and looked ahead. This piece of land was already under his feet. It wouldn't be long before the Dragon Palace officially stepped onto the stage of the history of the supernatural continent. A new page of history had quietly begun. Chapter 1640. 1640 was a foregone conclusion. In the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, the ruins of the Divine Kingdom today were completely different from before. In the sky above the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, tens of thousands of experts stood neatly in the air. They held weapons in their hands and stared coldly towards the east. Almost all the experts from the 3 superpowers had gathered together. Leading them were 5 elders. Everyone in the Divine Kingdom ruins below recognized the identities of these 5 elders at a glance. These 5 were the strongest experts in the vast region in the past. They held great power and could shake the entire region with a stomp of their feet. However, today, They stood in the void expressionlessly as they stared ahead. Clearly, they were waiting for someone. In the past, it would have been impossible for these 5 to stand in the air and wait for someone. But now, they had already waited for half an hour. They still did not feel the slightest bit of impatience. The 3 great superpowers have completely bowed their heads this time. There's no other way. The Sky Demon is still alive, and it's said that one person can fight against 3 or 4 rank 9 profound void martial experts. This invincible stance, which power can withstand it? Now, the 3 super factions have to join forces to not be destroyed. Sky Demon, ever since it appeared, it has shocked the entire vast region. Now, it has already surpassed everyone in the vast region. Below, everyone in the Divine Kingdom ruins raised their heads to look at the 3 super factions in the sky. The super factions that were once glorious and could make 10 billion people grovel with a single sentence had now completely declined. All of this was because of the Sky Demon. Woo woo. At this moment, a whistling sound rang out. It was a unique sound that attracted everyone's attention. They are here. The savage goddess giant beast, Sky Demon, and the others are here. When they heard this sound, everyone's gaze froze as they hurriedly looked towards the east. A giant figure quickly appeared in everyone's line of sight. At the front of the huge beast stood 3 figures. The youth in the lead was like a starlight that was emitting light. The Sky Demon is indeed not dead. Priest Wang is not dead. Back at the Cult of Self-Reliance, Priest Wang fought with the Cult of Self-Reliance because he saw the Cult of Self-Reliance kill 100,000 people because of him. Others say that Priest Wang is a Sky Demon, but back in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, Priest Wang was famous for his benevolence, the Saint of Light. In terms of style, Priest Wang is much more benevolent than the 3 superpowers. Whispers rang out from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Many people in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom knew Wang Xian very well. The former Priest of Light, Priest Wang, had a great reputation. However, what everyone did not expect was that Priest Wang was a Sky Demon. Haha, my sect, the Southern Royal Family, and the Wuji Empire have kept you waiting for a long time. Wang Xian stood on Xiao Lan and laughed out loud when he saw the 3 superpowers who were already waiting for him. We didn't wait for long either. Patriarch Dark Eye looked at Wang Xian and said faintly, "Cut the crap. If you want to make peace with us, you will have to pay a price. Show us your sincerity." Wang Xian swept his gaze across all of them and said coldly. His words made the 5 patriarchs' expressions turn ugly instantly. Sky Demon, even if the 3 of us join forces, we might not be afraid of you. The Supreme Headmaster clenched his arms tightly. His eyes were filled with fury. Don't talk about those useless things. Aren't you afraid of why we want peace? Feng Luan looked at the Supreme Sect leader with some mockery. She didn't give him any face at all. According to the requirements of your Dragon and Phoenix Empire, half of the territory in the vast area belongs to you. Furthermore, this is the rest of the items that we have taken out. Nanhuang Jianghe immediately took over and threw a piece of paper at Wang Xian and the rest. The name of various items and resources was written on it. In the vast area, we want to be close to the Barren Sea and the area near the north-flowing sea. There are a total of 5,100 cities. In terms of items, we want all the life stones, life and death pill workshop and holy item forging workshop of the Solitaire sect to give all the resources of the Wuji Empire to you. Don't think about hiding it. We know how many items they have given you to invite you to take action. In addition, we want the Inferno flowers in the domain of the Southern Royal Family. We want 10,000 of them and 1,000 of them above the Void Interpretation Realm. Feng Luan took the paper and looked at the conditions on it. What? The faces of the 5 patriarchs changed drastically. They stared at Feng Luan with a gloomy face. Either you 3 superpowers join forces to fight against us, or you agree to this condition. Wang Xian stared at the 5 grandmasters of the 3 superpowers with a strong expression and said arrogantly. The atmosphere gradually turned solemn. All the experts of the 3 superpowers gripped their weapons nervously. If they didn't come to an agreement today, a war might ensue. Don't make us wait. The leaders of the Dragon Palace stared at the 3 superpowers wantonly. They were exuding a strong sense of confidence. The members of the Dragon Palace weren't afraid of war or anyone else. A powerful aura charged at them without any hesitation. This made all the experts of the three superpowers change their expressions. They had seen how terrifying the members of the Dragon Palace were. Okay, we agree. The five patriarchs looked at each other, gritted their teeth, and nodded. A wise man submits to circumstances. Clan leader he sway, I'll have to trouble all of you for the transfer of resources. A faint smile appeared on Wang Xian's face as he spoke to the He clan and He Sui clan leaders behind him. All right. The clan leaders of the two clans nodded with a smile. Hiss, just like that, the division of the powers in the entire vast area has been decided. In the future, the Dragon Phoenix Empire will occupy half of this vast region. The sky in this vast region will completely change. There will only be 4 superpowers in this vast region. The other powers will have to rely on them. I reckon that the 3 superpowers will form an alliance in the future. Otherwise, the Dragon Phoenix Empire will destroy them sooner or later. The He clan and He Sui clan have obtained a huge opportunity this time. Below, when everyone in the Divine Kingdom ruins saw how a few words had determined the entire situation of the vast region, shock appeared on their faces. After this, the entire vast region would enter a new situation. In the future, when the 2 superpowers combined, there would be endless battles. Let's go. I hope everyone can give me some pointers in the vast region in the future. Haha. Wang Xian laughed maniacally. His face was filled with a domineering aura. Welcome, members of the Dragon Palace, to join our Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Feng Luan also smiled and said softly, Woo woo. Chapter 1641. 1641 stepped onto the stage of the continent. Little Blue flew, slowly swaying her body as she flew towards the Dragon Phoenix Empire's domain. In this vast region, second-rate and first-rate powers no longer existed. Today, the agreement between the 3 superpowers and the Dragon Phoenix Empire could decide the fate of the entire region. The 3 superpowers had agreed to give half of the vast region's domain to the Dragon Phoenix Empire. As for the remaining cities and smaller powers, they didn't dare to have any objections. For the next period of time, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire only needed to control one city after another. In the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, the 3 superpowers and everyone below watched Wang Xian and the rest leave with shock and embarrassment on their faces. Xiao Xian, do you want to move the Dragon Palace to the Barren Sea? On Xiaolan, Lan Qingyu looked at Wang Xian and continued, the ferocious beasts and demonic beasts in the Barren Sea have basically been devoured by Xiaolan. The Sea of Desolation is located in the north of the vast region. It is not far from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. There are more resources in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom than in the ocean. We can totally transfer the Dragon Palace here. Furthermore, the development of the Dragon Palace in the future will mainly be based on the forging workshop. The profits from the forging workshop alone will enable the rapid development of the entire Dragon Palace. Wang Xian said to her. Lan Qingyu nodded. This time, they had killed about 60,000 powerhouses in the vast region. Together with the resources they had, the members of the Dragon Palace would be able to receive a huge boost. In the future, the resources obtained from the forging of weapons by the Fire Hammer clan alone would be able to increase the number of Void Interpretation stage powerhouses in the Dragon Palace by more than 10 a day. Creating a 3rd or 4th level insightful Void Realm expert in 3 or 4 days was also possible. 1 or 2 years later, the Dragon Palace's strength would definitely be able to suppress the 3 superforces. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire's Imperial Palace will be moved to the vast region this time. The Flowing Sea region will be managed by the former Light Dragon Empire's Long family, Feng Luan said from the side. Half of the vast region's territory was about 5 times the area of the Flowing Sea region. As for the resources, they weren't something the Flowing Sea region could compare to. Even a place like the Ladyboy Graveyard was not as good as the base of a first-rate force in the vast region. Furthermore, she had an even grander plan. That was, not long after the vast region was completely unified, the 6th great empire of the transcendental continent would be established. Such a grand feat might take thousands of years in Feng Wan's original plan, But now, she could complete it in less than 10 years after returning to the transcendental continent. It was all because of the man beside her. Feng Luan looked at him and smiled. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire returned triumphantly. In the next half a year, the Dragon Palace moved and the Dragon and Phoenix Empire moved their capital. The Sea of Desolation was the largest ocean in the vast area. The ocean was connected to the main sea of the extraordinary continent, the Extraordinary Sea. In the Extraordinary Sea, there was another area called the Dragon Sea. The Dragon Sea was the land of the dragon race. That area occupied a quarter of the Sea of Transcendence. Moreover, all the demon beasts in the Sea of Transcendence were under the control of the dragon race, or the dragon race was the king. The area of the Sea of Transcendence was equivalent to 5 to 6 Earths. The area of the 5 great empires added together was almost as big as the Sea of Transcendence. All the powerful demon beasts and fierce beasts in the Barren Sea were basically swallowed by Little Blue, which made the Barren Sea within 1,000,000 kilometers seem a bit desolate. At the bottom of the sea, which was more than 10,000 kilometers away from the Barren Sea, a huge dragon palace stood tens of thousands of meters deep in the sea. Within 150 kilometers of the Dragon Palace, there were many tall and sturdy guards patrolling around the Dragon Palace like divine weapons. Inside the Dragon Palace, there were spiritual herbs and trees that were emitting spiritual energy. Each of them would cause a huge fight if placed outside. In the Dragon Field, the warriors of the Dragon Palace were sparring. On the left was a group of mountains. In the mountains, thousands of members of the Fire Hammer clan were forging all kinds of weapons and equipment. At the front, the huge, majestic and beautiful Dragon King Palace was exuding endless majesty. Above the Dragon King's palace, Wang Xian was enjoying the pleasure of being with everyone. Ever since the matters in the vast region were resolved half a year ago and the Dragon Palace was relocated to the Dragon King's palace, everything was handed over to Prime Minister Gui to handle. Meanwhile, Wang Xian began to lead a licentious life. Ling Jian was found and her worries were completely resolved. Lan Qingyu was back, which made Wang Xian exceptionally happy. Every day, he stayed in the Dragon King's bedroom with 8 girls for half a month. Every day, he killed his way in and out, and the sky was dark. "Where is your Dragon King? Is he in the bedroom again?" In the Dragon Palace, Feng Luan entered the Dragon King's palace with a displeased expression and asked Prime Minister Gui. "Yes, Emperor Feng. Our Dragon King and the Dragon Queen are in the bedroom." Prime Minister Gui smiled embarrassedly and didn't dare to offend Feng Luan. As a Prime Minister Gui who was well versed in the human world, he naturally didn't dare to offend Feng Luan as he thought that this Emperor Feng had unknowingly become their Dragon Queen. In the entire Dragon Palace, apart from the 8 Dragon Queens, 1 Emperor Feng and the eldest princess, he was considered the boss. "Sister Feng Luan, do you want me to call my brother?" At this moment, Xiao Yu walked in with Feng Lingtian's arm on his arm and said with a smile. Feng Lingtian stood beside Xiao Yu and looked in the direction of the bedroom with envy. He was envious, but he did not dare to. A bone dragon's wife was about to break his bones. In the past half a year, he had obtained an enormous amount of resources. All the girls, including Xiao Yu, had reached the 7th level of the Profound Void Martial stage. They could fight against the 8th rank of the Profound Void Martial stage. At the same time, Feng Lingtian could fight against the 8th rank of the Profound Void Martial stage. Feng Luan had given them the resources to help them improve their strength. Now that the Dragon Phoenix Empire controlled half of the territory of the Flowing Sea and the vast area, they had more profits than the Dragon Palace. A large part of Feng Luan was used to cultivate experts. However, it was much more difficult to nurture other experts compared to Guan Shuqing and the rest. Guan Shuqing and the rest of the girls were able to raise their levels as long as they had the resources. Speaking of which, the group of girls could be considered an elder group of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. "Go, there's something we need to talk to him about," Feng Luan said with a dark expression. Every time she came to the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian would drag 8 girls and not come out of the bedroom. This made her very angry. What was in this guy's mind? "Feng Luan, what's the matter?" Not long after, Wang Xian stretched his back and flew out. He flew over with a smile on his face. "Get your men to help forge some weapons. Feng Luan rolled her eyes at him when she saw his expression and said directly, "Sure, just go to the Fire Hammer clan and give your orders," Wang Xian said with a smile. Chapter 1642. 1642 stepped onto the stage of the mainland. "I want to get Du and Jinming to personally forge more than 100 defensive weapons at level 8 of the Void Interpretation stage," Feng Luan said to Wang Xian. Aren't your people able to forge weapons at level 8 of the Void Interpretation stage?" Wang Xian looked at Feng Luan curiously. "It's different. This time, it's a large-scale weapon that can pierce through the weapons of a level 7 Void Interpretation stage powerhouse." Feng Luan shook her head. "This kind of large-scale weapon is extremely complicated. Even a powerful forger from the Fire Lark clan wouldn't be able to forge it. Du and Jinming's forging standard is very strong. I want to find him to let him forge it." As she spoke, she passed a blueprint to Wang Xian. This kind of weapon?" Wang Xian was slightly stunned. Looking at the large-scale weapon on the blueprint, a hint of surprise appeared on his face. This weapon was similar to a huge siege weapon that involved a formation. A huge weapon attack that could kill a 7th-level profound void martial artist was definitely a terrifying killing weapon. However, with the abilities of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and the Phoenix clan, it was insufficient to forge this weapon. It was too complicated and required a high level of forging. The level of forging of the Phoenix weapon was much lower than the level of alchemy. Defensive equipment. If there are too many of them, they can threaten the 8th level of the profound void tier. However, this kind of weapon is not used by the Dragon Phoenix Empire but for the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, Feng Luan said directly. "What happened to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan?" Wang Xian asked Feng Luan. "In the battle against the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has always been at a disadvantage. Right now, the Fire Lark clan can only passively defend." Feng Luan frowned and said slowly, "Is that so? I'll give the blueprint to Du and Jinming and see if he can forge it." Wang Xian revealed a hint of contemplation on his face and asked Prime Minister Gui to call Du and Jinming over. Sister Feng Luan. At this moment, a group of girls dressed luxuriously flew over from the bedroom. Every girl was an existence that could topple countries and cities. Especially their temperament. Even if they were called the Empress, no one would object. Each of them had a colorful charm. "You guys still know that you have a sister like me?" Feng Luan glanced at the group of girls and said in disdain. "Hihi, of course I know." The group of girls blushed. Guan Shuqing immediately walked over and held her arm. Thinking about the past 6 months, it was indeed a little crazy. Especially in the beginning, it was very interesting. Even though Ling Jian, who was cultivating the Heartless Sword principle, had fallen in love with Wang Xian. However, such a thing was something that she didn't dare to imagine in the past. However, there was a saying that went well. As time passed, love would develop. As time passed, it became absurd and shameless. Dragon King. At this moment, at the entrance of the Dragon King's palace, Du and Jinming walked over quickly and knelt on the ground. "Jinming, get up." Wang Xian waved his arm and passed the blueprint directly to him. "Can you see if the weapon on it can be forged?" "It's the Dragon King." Du and Jinming nodded immediately. As a slave-like race, he had become a respected and revered member of the Fire Hammer clan. Du and Jinming knew that everything was because of the existence of the Dragon King. "Sure, but with my speed, I can only forge 1 piece a day at most." Du and Jinming nodded. "All right, Feng Luan has the materials here. Forge it immediately." Wang Xian nodded. "It's the Dragon King." Du and Jinming nodded immediately. He took the interspatial ring that Feng Luan gave him and left immediately. Feng Luan, Shu Qing, Qingyu, you girls, I have something to tell you. Wang Xian watched as Du and Jinming left and looked at Feng Luan, Guan Shu Qing, and the other girls. "Huh? What is it?" The girls were stunned and looked at him in astonishment. "I'm going to the Fire Lark clan to head to the Central Continent," Wang Xian said directly. The Central Continent was the center of the entire supernatural continent. There were 5 empires there. There were powerful forces on the continent, terrifying sects, and families that had stood for 100,000 years. It was an idea that Wang Xian came up with not long ago to head to the territory of the central continent. Today, Feng Luan came over and talked about the Firelark clan. This made him completely certain. Currently, he needed too many resources to upgrade his level. To reach the 5th level of the see-through void tier, he would need to consume at least 1 year's worth of resources accumulated by the Dragon Palace. Moreover, he wouldn't be able to live every day in his bedroom. When it was time to fight, he knew how to fight. The vast region had stabilized. In a year or two, the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Dragon Palace would be able to subdue and destroy the 3 superpowers. When that time came, the vast region would be unified. And he wouldn't be able to stay in the Dragon Palace for a year or two. Furthermore, the current Dragon Palace and the Dragon Phoenix Empire were not 100% stable. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop had always been a problem in their hearts. With the strength of 2 mainland-level forces, even the Dragon Palace could be destroyed by them. Therefore, Wang Xian had already had an idea and made some preparations. "You want to go out?" When the group of girls heard Wang Xian's words, they cried out in surprise. All of them stared at him. "Yeah, are you staying in the bedroom every day?" Wang Xian smiled at the group of girls. "Then go, hurry up and leave. Pay attention to your safety. Just come back in a month or two." When the few girls saw his expression, they immediately waved their hands. Wang Xian was speechless. "Wang Xian, are you really going out?" Feng Luan frowned and asked him. "Yes, I've already thought of it. I'm going to the Firelark clan. I'm going to lead the Strange Demon clan to join the Firelark clan in the battle with the 2 major forces. It's best if I can destroy them." As Wang Xian spoke, a cold glint flashed across his eyes. It had always been the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop who wanted to destroy them. This time, he was prepared to take the initiative to make a move. He was going to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to deal with 2 continent-level forces. "You want to participate in this war? This war has experts at the 9th rank of the Void Interpretation Realm and the Half-Step Longevity Realm making a move." Feng Luan frowned and reminded him. "Don't worry, unless the Longevity Realm makes a move, the Half-Step Longevity Realm won't be able to stop me. The Firelark clan should be in a great disadvantage now. If I go over, I can help them a little. Moreover, only by killing strong enemies will I be able to obtain more resources." Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. "Even if they are injured, it won't be a loss if I can obtain a portion of the resources ahead of time." Wang Xian looked at them and continued. "Xiao Xian, have you really made up your mind?" Guan Shuqing and the other girls looked at him and asked with a frown. "I've made up my mind. We will set off in the next 2 days." Wang Xian nodded his head. When it was time for a man to fight, he had to fight. It was only then that he took the first solid step on the journey to the transcendental continent. The following journey would be the true stage of the transcendental continent. They would compete with the continental forces that had existed for tens of thousands of years, contending with powerful and brilliant sect, contending with invincible empires for hegemony. Chapter 1643. 1643. The Firelark clan was in a difficult situation. "Xiao Xian, be careful. This time, it will be a year at most. You have to come back for us. Also, you have to remember not to mess around with other women. Otherwise, don't blame us for being rude." On the barren sea, Wang Xian stood in the sky. In front of him, a group of girls warned him. "Don't worry. I went out this time just to become stronger. I have no other thoughts." Wang Xian assured them with a straight face. "Mph, remember what you said." The group of girls stared at him in disbelief. "I'm leaving. Feng Luan, Qingyu, I'll leave this place to you guys," Wang Xian said to them. "Don't worry, little Xian, be careful." Lan Qingyu and Feng Luan nodded. "Let's go." Wang Xian looked at the 500 strange demons behind him. With a move, he flew directly in the direction of the extraordinary sea. He only brought 500 strange demons with him on this expedition. These 500 strange demons were the strongest force in the Dragon Palace. Each of them was at least at the 5th level of the see-through realm. There were also some at the 6th level of the see-through realm. Including Ao Yarrow, there were also 10 of them. The corpses of 60,000 experts in the vast region and the resources paid by the 3 superpowers were mostly spent on them. The resources for the past half a month were also spent on the 500 strange demons. While flying in the sky, Wang Xian swept his gaze toward the north and revealed a smile. With Xiao Lan in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, he wasn't worried at all. The life stone that he obtained from the solipsistic sect gave Xiao Lan a huge boost in her strength. Even Wang Xian thought that he was no match for Xiao Lan. With her in charge, it wouldn't be a problem even if he wasn't around. Once you step into the Sea of Transcendence, you will be considered to have truly stepped onto the stage of the mainland. Ao Yarrow, you guys enter the spirit storage bag first. Wang Xian looked at the endless sea and said to all the strange demons beside him. It's the Dragon King. Ao Yarrow nodded and immediately entered the storage spirit bag. Let's go. Wang Xian's figure moved and a formless yin-yang tai chi appeared under his feet. With a flash, he appeared 20 kilometers away. Another flash and another 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers. To him, flying only took about 10 seconds. Teleporting could only reduce the time by 10 seconds. Flying at full speed, Wang Xian flew towards the Sea of Transcendence at a terrifying speed. 2 kilometers per second. It would only take 3 days to cross the entire barren sea. The Sea of Transcendence is up ahead, and that is also the Central Continent region. The Central Continent region is as big as the other regions combined. There are more than 10 vast regions. The Draconid Empire occupies the east, the Aoshan Empire occupies the center, the 9 Gods Empire occupies the west, the 10,000 Demons Empire occupies the south, and the Phoenix Dynasty occupies the north wind. The 5 empires occupy 3/5 of the Central Continent's territory. The rest of the territories are occupied by other forces. The Fire Cloud Mountain of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan is not part of the 5 empires' territory. It is close to the Phoenix Dynasty. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop are also not part of the empire's territory. On the other hand, they are close to the 9 Gods Empire. Wang Xian looked ahead as information about the Central Continent appeared in his mind. Regardless of whether it was the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, the Life and Death Pill Workshop or the Holy Item Forging Workshop, all of them belonged to the top-tier powers below the empire. The Longevity Realm experts were in charge of suppressing the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan for tens of thousands of years. The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was once the personal guard of the Empress of the Phoenix Empire, the strongest personal guard of the Phoenix Empire. The Empress of the Phoenix Empire retreated to the Fire Cloud Mountain after her death. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop were not weak either. They had been standing on the transcendent continent for 70,000 to 80,000 years. They were the strongest pill and weapon workshop on the continent. They had a deep foundation and were extremely wealthy. According to the map in his mind, Wang Xian quickly flew towards the direction of the Fire Cloud Mountain. The Fire Cloud Mountain was a continuous mountain range. The mountain range was as long as 2,000 kilometers. Some of the fire elemental forces gathered in the surroundings with the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan as their backing. The continent is ahead. It should be the territory of the Phoenix Dynasty. After flying for 2 days, the continent appeared in Wang Xian's sight. He hesitated for a moment before flying towards the direction of the continent. At the very least, he needed to understand some information about the entire Central Continent region and the strongest place on the continent. There's a city ahead. After flying for 2 hours, a city appeared in his line of sight. It was a city with a radius of 100 kilometers. The city walls were not very high, but the layers of thick formations were obviously higher than the vast area. Wang Xian's body moved and landed on the ground. He walked quickly into the city. There were many ferocious beasts running around the city. With a glance, there were many level 5 or 6 extraordinary ferocious beast mounts. There were even quite a number of level 8 or 9 extraordinary ferocious beasts riding on them. The strength of any random remote city is no weaker than the strength of a medium-sized city in the vast region. Wang Xian thought to himself. He raised his head and looked at the city gate. The words Feng Dynasty Side City were carved on the top of the city gate. It was very lively inside the city. There were also many people. The overall strength of the people here was also slightly higher than the vast area. However, perhaps it was due to the remote city, it was not much higher. Wang Xian walked past the city and bought a map. Then, he continued to fly in the direction of Fiery Cloud Mountain. The arcane city of the Phoenix Dynasty is the closest to Fiery Cloud Mountain. It is also the border city of the Phoenix Dynasty. Wang Xian flew. According to the information on the map, a day later, a city that was 2 to 3 times bigger than the peaceful city appeared in his line of sight. This city belonged to a border city of the Phoenix Dynasty. I didn't expect the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to be forced into such a situation. They actually requested for reinforcements from our Holy Fire clan. They are really declining. Back then, when the Empress failed to achieve Nirvana, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan actually went into seclusion. If they didn't go into seclusion, how would the current Life and Death Pill Workshop and Holy Item Forging Workshop dare to provoke them? In my opinion, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan is too arrogant. It's not good to be enemies with anyone. They just had to provoke the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Now, they want us to make a move. Chimpate. No matter what, we are not the main force in their battle this time. Let's just let the disciples of our clan gain experience. Just when Wang Xian arrived at the entrance of the Arcane Art City, he saw a team of more than 1,000 people coming out of the city. The leaders were 2 old men. Wang Xian could tell their strength at a glance. 9th level of the Void Interpretation Stage. Behind them, half of them were Void Interpretation Stage powerhouses. At least 500 of them were Void Interpretation Stage powerhouses. In the middle of the team, a few young men were chatting with displeasure on their faces. The Holy Fire clan, the Firelark clan has already reached the point of asking for help from others. It seems that their situation is not looking good. Wang Xian paused for a moment and revealed a look of surprise. The biggest trump card of the Firelark clan that dared to provoke the 2 major factions was that they had some connections with a powerful clan in the Phoenix Dynasty. This relationship was enough for them to come over and help the Firelark clan. Now, it seemed that the Firelark clan had already used this relationship. From the looks of it, the other party did not seem to be very happy about it. Chapter 1644. 1644 The distinguished guests of the 1644 clan. The situation of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was even more dangerous than what Feng Luan understood. It should be that the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan doesn't want Feng Luan to be so worried. For a subordinate to be able to do this, it can be said that he is extremely loyal and has no other intentions. Wang Xian sighed in his heart. After Feng Luan was killed, they chose to go into seclusion directly. However, now that Feng Luan had returned, they were willing to sacrifice their lives for the great cause of the Empress. Such a loyal race was rare. Looks like I can't waste any more time, Wang Xian thought to himself. With a move of his body, he turned around and flew in the direction of Fire Cloud Mountain. Buzz! Everyone, get on board. Take the 9 Gods airship and rush to Fire Cloud Sparrow Fire Cloud City. At this moment, a 100-meter-sized airship appeared in the sky above the Holy Fire race. The airship shimmered and emitted a powerful formation. Although the entire airship was small, it contained a terrifying amount of energy. The 9 Gods airship. Wang Xian looked over curiously. Buzz! What a fast speed! When everyone from the Holy Fire clan entered the airship flew forward at a terrifying speed. This speed was not any slower than Wang Xian's. This should be the top-notch airship of the 9 God Empire, Wang Xian thought to himself. He stood there for a moment until the airship disappeared from his sight. Only then did he fly in the same direction. Firecloud Mountain was tens of thousands of kilometers away from here. It would take a few hours to reach it by flying. This is a completely destroyed city. As Wang Xian flew in the sky, he realized that there were destroyed cities below. The gigantic cities were completely in ruins. In the cities, the fresh blood had dried up long ago. Some of the corpses had rotted away. After passing through 2 to 3 cities consecutively, they were all in ruins. There were also some people in the ruins of some cities. The entire area was abnormally tragic. We're here. After 6 hours, numerous incomparably huge flaming mountains appeared in sight. In front of the flaming mountains, there was an incomparably huge city that was over 100 kilometers away. It was built with fiery red rocks, and the entire city was completely enveloped in flames. In the sky, over a dozen flaming skylarks that had spread their wings and were over 10 meters in size were circling in the sky. Each fire lark was exuding a violent aura. They were at least at the 8th level of the see-through realm. At this moment, the entire city was completely sealed off. This was the first city that Wang Xian had seen that had not been destroyed. At this moment, a group of people was floating in front of the city. Wang Xian looked over. They were the members of the Holy Fire clan. He hesitated for a moment before flying directly to the city gate. What are these people from the Fire Lark clan doing? Why aren't we opening the city gate immediately? They still need to confirm our identities. How troublesome. We are here to help them. Impatient voices could be heard. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, the sound of the gate opening could be heard. More than a dozen old men and women dressed in fiery red robes walked over hurriedly. Everyone from the Sacred Flame clan is truly sorry. Because the masked assassin organization infiltrated Fire Cloud City 2 days ago and killed many of our members, we had no choice but to close the city. We have also gone through strict checks on all those who entered. We are truly sorry. An old man walked over and immediately spoke to everyone from the Sacred Flame clan with an apologetic expression. All right, let us go in. These people from our Sacred Fire clan are here temporarily. In a while, there will be another 500 insightful Emptiness Realm expert. The elder at the front of the Sacred Fire clan said plainly. All right, everyone from the Sacred Fire clan, please come in. The elder from the Firelark clan frowned slightly and gestured. Who is he? At this moment, a faint voice sounded from the back of the Sacred Fire clan. A young man stared at Wang Xian, who was standing at the side, and sized him up from head to toe. As soon as the young man spoke, the experts from the Firelark tribe immediately looked over. Their fiery red eyes locked onto Wang Xian. Everyone, I'm Wang Xian. I'm here to support the Firelark tribe. Wang Xian saw the experts from the Firelark tribe staring at him. He smiled and took a few steps forward. At the same time, he took out a token from his interspatial ring. A young lad came to support the Fire Sparrows? What a joke. The young man who was sizing up Wang Xian was slightly stunned when he heard his words. Then, he said with a smile, "This is." However, the elder at the front of the Fire Sparrows stared at the fiery red token and was slightly shocked. "Young master, please come in." The elder bowed slightly with a hint of respect on his face. He immediately walked to Wang Xian's side and said to him, "What do you mean?" The 2 experts of the Holy Fire clan, who were at level 9 of the see-through realm, were slightly stunned when they saw the elder greeting Wang Xian respectfully. They frowned slowly. "Bring everyone from the Holy Fire clan into the Fire Cloud Hall." "Young master, this way please," the old man said to the other experts of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and led Wang Xian into the hall. Wang Xian smiled and followed closely from the side. Since he had come to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, it was natural for the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to recognize him. He had a token given to him by Feng Luan in his hand. It was called the Fire Cloud Token. Other than the patriarch of the Guardian clan, who did not need to treat him with respect, everyone else who held this token had to treat him with respect. It could be said that this token represented the arrival of their patriarch of the Guardian clan. "This old man, please inform your patriarch of the Firecloud clan that I, Wang Xian, am here." Wang Xian entered the city and scanned his surroundings before speaking to the old man directly. Firecloud City was located on top of a volcano. The temperature of the entire city was extremely high. It was a holy land for fire attribute cultivators. "Young Master Wang, why don't you wait in the Firecloud Hall? I will inform the patriarch." When the old man heard Wang Xian call their patriarch by his name, his heart trembled. If Wang Xian didn't have the Fire Cloud token in his hand and just called their patriarch by his name, he would have taken action immediately. Okay, sure. Wang Xian nodded his head and followed the old man to the back of the Fire Cloud city. Young Master Wang, please take a seat. I will inform the patriarch immediately. The old man brought Wang Xian to the huge Fire Cloud palace and pointed at the front seat. Okay. Wang Xian nodded his head. One by one, the maids came over and poured a cup of tea. Fiery Light, where are you going? Aren't you the one who welcomed the experts of the Sacred Fire Clan? There's a young Master Wang named Wang Xian who has the Fire Cloud token in his hand. He wants to see the Patriarch now. I'll go to the Fire Cloud Mountain Palace to report to the Patriarch. What? Fire Cloud token? Fiery Light, stay here with this young Master Wang. We'll go and inform the Patriarch. Wang Xian picked up the teacup and heard the exclamations from outside. Soon after, he saw the old man walking over again. Young Master Wang, our elder will inform the Patriarch. I will wait here with you. Fiery Light smiled as he spoke to Wang Xian. Chapter 1645. 1645 Among the distinguished guests of the 1645 clan. Wang Xian nodded his head and sat there quietly. It was obvious that this elder named Fiery Light didn't know his identity. It was also possible that he didn't know that their empress was still alive. Clap, clap, clap. At this moment, a group of more than 1,000 people walked in from the entrance of the Fire Cloud Hall. Everyone from the Sacred Fire Clan, please take a seat at the side. Our clan elder will be here soon. Upon seeing their arrival, Fiery Light hurriedly greeted them. I say, we are from the Firelark clan. We are here to help you. Why didn't you prepare to welcome us in advance? The two elders who were walking in front revealed displeased expressions as they spoke to Fiery Light directly. I'm sorry, everyone. Please wait for a moment. We will be here soon. Please take a seat. Fiery Light pointed at the seat behind Wang Xian with a smile and gestured. Are you asking our elders to sit behind a young man? What is the meaning of this? Some of the middle-aged men from the Sacred Flame clan were slightly stunned when they saw Fiery Light asking their two elders to sit behind him. One of them frowned and spoke directly. They were here to help the Sacred Flame clan. Now, a random kid came over and was treated better than them. What was the meaning of this? Were they looking down on them? No need, we'll just stand here. A hint of displeasure flashed through the eyes of the two elders of the Sacred Flame clan as they replied coldly. Fiery Light pursed his lips and didn't speak. It wasn't that they didn't welcome him warmly, but that an even more mysterious guest had arrived. Seeing that Fiery Light didn't speak anymore, the expressions of the Sacred Flame clan's members became even more unsightly. Some of the Sacred Fire clan members whispered to each other with displeased expressions. Boom. 10 minutes later, just as the Sacred Fire clan members were feeling impatient, a special fluctuation suddenly appeared. Everyone in the Fire Cloud Hall was slightly startled, and the Sacred Fire clan members hurriedly shut their mouths. Buzz. Over 10 figures appeared in the middle of the hall. When the two elders of the Sacred Fire clan saw this person, they were shocked and revealed a faint smile on their faces. The patriarch of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan had personally welcomed them. It could be considered as giving them enough face. All the displeasure from before had disappeared. Elder Fire Cloud. I didn't expect young Master Wang to come. Before the rock, please welcome everyone from the Sacred Fire clan. Young Master Wang, let's talk inside. Patriarch Fengyun turned towards Wang Xian. All right. Wang Xian nodded and took 2 steps towards Fengyun's position. Let's go. Fengyun nodded. With a wave of her arm, she brought Wang Xian and disappeared into the Fire Cloud Hall. The two elders from the Sacred Fire clan were stunned. They didn't even greet Wang Xian. The rest of the members from the Sacred Fire clan were even more stunned. Patriarch Firecloud wasn't here to welcome them, but that youth. What was that youth's identity? Brothers of the Sacred Fire clan, thank you for your support this time. At this moment, the only elder of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan who remained thanked everyone from the Sacred Fire clan. His words made the faces of everyone from the Sacred Fire clan turn ugly. Any random young man could make Patriarch Fire Cloud come over personally to receive them. And they, on the other hand, were abnormally cold towards him. They were from the Sacred Fire clan of the Phoenix dynasty, the founding general clan of the Phoenix dynasty. Now, they came over to help them, yet they received such treatment. This made everyone from the Sacred Fire clan slightly indignant. I wonder who that young man was, to actually be able to make Patriarch Fire Cloud personally receive him. The two elders of the Sacred Fire clan asked coldly with gloomy faces. Hua Yang was slightly stunned before shaking his head. I don't know either. Our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has already prepared a feast to entertain everyone. Young Master Wang. Greetings, young Master Wang. At this moment, 50 kilometers away, in a Fire Cloud Palace on Fire Cloud Mountain. This Fire Cloud Palace was the core of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Anyone who could enter this place must be a member of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. In a room that was not very big, Feng Yun bowed respectfully to Wang Xian. More than a dozen figures beside her bowed directly to show their respect. Among them, 5 of them had already reached the half-step realm of longevity. However, at this moment, all of them were staring at Wang Xian with fervent eyes. As the core elders of the Fire Lark clan, they were naturally very clear about the Empress's matters. Especially the Dragon and Phoenix Empire that the Empress had established, it made them feel extremely excited. Why did their Firelark clan fight to the death with the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop? Wasn't it because of the Empress's foundation? Even if they had to die, they wouldn't hesitate. And this young man in front of them was the Empress's strongest pillar of support. Even the Firelark clan couldn't help the Empress reach this step so quickly. In just 4 years, they helped the Empress establish a dynasty and empire, reaching the point where she could dominate the vast region. Even if this person in front of them was not as strong as them, they would not hesitate to ask them to kneel down. Moreover, from their point of view, this young Master Wang was very terrifying. 4 years ago, they learned that this young Master Wang's strength was only at the extraordinary realm. Now, he was at the 9th level of the see-through void tier. It was probably only a matter of time before longevity in front of this young Master Wang. You don't have to be so polite. Wang Xian smiled slightly when he saw their respectful expressions. Young Master Wang, please take a seat. Feng Yun pointed at the main seat in the middle and said to Wang Xian. Haha, I can't take up this position yet. Let's wait for a while. Senior Feng Yun, please take a seat. Wang Xian sat at the side and said to Feng Yun, Senior Feng Yun, the main reason why I'm here is for the matter of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Can you tell me about the current situation of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan? Yes, all right. Feng Yun nodded and sat on the main seat. The current situation is not good for our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, especially the Sacred Fire clan, which has caused our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to be in a passive and dangerous situation. Feng Yun frowned. The Sacred Fire clan? Wang Xian looked at Feng Yun, who he had met 4 years ago. She looked much older now and asked in puzzlement. That's right, the Sacred Fire clan. Feng Yun nodded. Back then, the reason why our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan dared to fight against the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Forging Workshop of the Sacred Items was because of the Sacred Fire clan. Our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was the protector of the Empress of the Phoenix dynasty at that time. The Sacred Fire clan was the founding general of the Phoenix dynasty. Once, when I was fighting with the Empress, I saved the life of the Patriarch of the Sacred Fire clan, as well as the lives of many members of the Sacred Fire clan. She once said that she owed me a life, and our relationship was quite good. She is still the founding general of the Phoenix dynasty. If this crisis were to happen, she would be willing to take action. With the influence of the Phoenix dynasty, the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop wouldn't dare to kill us. Chapter 1646. 1646 1646 Clans Distinguished Guests. Feng Yun was talking at the side while Wang Xian listened by the side. He frowned slightly. When Feng Yun was with the Empress, she had saved the life of the Sacred Fire clan's patriarch as well as their clan's life. With such a good relationship, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was attacked by the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. As long as the Sacred Fire Clan stood up for the Fire Cloud Sparrow Clan, the two forces would definitely not dare to kill them. After all, the Fire Cloud Sparrow Clan was once the Empress' personal guard, and the Sacred Fire Clan's patriarch was the founding general of the Phoenix dynasty. Due to the Phoenix dynasty's might, they would definitely not dare to kill the Fire Cloud Sparrow Clan. This way, the Fire Cloud Sparrow Clan could also pin down the two forces. However, when Feng Yun asked the Sacred Fire Clan's patriarch for help, the Sacred Fire Clan's patriarch didn't refuse or agree. On the contrary, he invited Feng Yun to return to the Phoenix dynasty. Once she returned, the Phoenix dynasty would protect the Fire Cloud Sparrow Clan. Now that the Empress had returned, how could Feng Yun join the Phoenix dynasty? In the future, the Phoenix dynasty would be their enemy. After rejecting, the patriarch of the Sacred Fire Clan only sent experts from his clan to send her away. As for this support, it was only to help them fight against some people who were tempted by the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. In other words, the Holy Fire Clan will make a move but will not do their best. Furthermore, this support might not last for long. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he said coldly, "That's right. They might retreat in half a year at most. Once they retreat, our Fire Cloud Sparrow Clan will be in danger." Feng Yun sighed slightly. She never expected that the person she had saved many times would only act perfunctorily when their tribe was in danger. Not every tribe can be as loyal and righteous as your Firelark tribe, Wang Xian said softly. The stronger the force, the more profit-oriented it was. It was rare to see a tribe like the Firelark tribe. The Empress is the benefactor of our Firelark race. Without her, we wouldn't exist. Feng Yun said calmly. Where is the battlefield now? How many insightful Emptiness Realm experts are there in the Firelark race? Wang Xian asked directly. The battlefield is at the easternmost part of the Fire Cloud Mountain range. The two factions that are attached to our Firelark race are fighting with our Firelark experts there. Now that the Holy Fire tribe has joined in, they have restrained themselves a lot. It is a small-scale battle where their strength is weak. As for the insightful Emptiness Realm experts, there are more than 9,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts in our Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe. Feng Yun replied. Only around 9,000? Wang Xian was slightly taken aback as he asked in astonishment. Feng Yun was slightly taken aback when she heard Wang Xian's astonished words. Only? Were there less than 9,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts? One had to know that this was only the strength of the Firelark tribe. If they didn't count the fallen ones, there were more than 10,000 of them. If this was placed in the Chao Fa continent, it would definitely be a huge force. This was once the personal guard regiment of an empire. What was the concept of a personal guard regiment? It was the kind of regiment that was the strongest in the 5 empires. The other higher-ups of the Firelark clan in the room also pursed their lips and smiled bitterly. This made them think of the power of this person in front of them. According to the vague information sent by the Empress, he and the Empress had defeated an army with more than 10,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts together back then. They could basically guess that this insightful Emptiness Realm expert should have around 5,000 to 6,000 of them. This word CI was indeed well used. Wang Xian saw their expressions and came to a sudden realization. All the insightful Emptiness Realm experts in the entire vast region added together only numbered around 20,000. The Firelark clan had more than 10,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts, which was considered a relatively large number. Then, how is the opponent's strength? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and asked. The combined strength of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop is only around 10,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. However, they have 2 Longevity Realm experts. Other than that, their financial resources are too terrifying. Not long ago, they hired a masked assassin organization to assassinate several hundred of our profound Void Realm experts. In addition, they issued a mission at the Mercenary Association to kill a member of our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. They were able to obtain 5 pills and 5 weapons of the same rank. This caused countless mercenary groups and experts to come and hunt us down. Now, the members of the Sacred Fire clan have come. They said that they would deal with these mercenary groups and unspecialized experts. They completely treated this battle as a training for their disciples. Feng Yun said with some anger. Masked Assassin Organization? What a strange name. Can you give me a copy of the information on this assassin organization? Wang Xian pondered for a moment and said to Feng Yun. The reason why he came to help the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was to kill the enemy. Since he was here to kill the enemy, he would first get to know the enemy. Sure. Feng Yun, the Fire Cloud Sparrow, and the other higher-ups were curious about Wang Xian's question. However, they didn't ask about it. A graceful and elegant lady took out a set of information from her interspatial ring and handed it to Wang Xian. Can you change your appearance, physique, and even your aura? Wang Xian looked at the information regarding the Masked Assassin Organization in his hand. Unlike ordinary assassin organizations, the assassination techniques of the Masked Assassin Organization could only be considered average. However, their method of changing their appearance was hard to guard against. When a person suddenly turned into someone you were familiar with, naturally, they would not be wary at all. Under such circumstances, the other party would be able to kill you easily. The second largest assassin organization in the Transcendence continent, Wang Xian was slightly surprised when he read the evaluation of the Masked Assassin Organization. The Masked Assassin Organization is different from ordinary assassins. Their unique method of changing their appearance, body shape, and aura is easier to train than other assassins. This has resulted in many assassins in the Masked Assassin Organization. Some people have guessed that the number of assassins in the Masked Assassin Organization is in the hundreds of thousands. Hence, they are rated as the number 2 assassin organization on the continent. The elegant lady explained to Wang Xian. Send me to the battlefield tomorrow. Also, show me all the information about the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Wang Xian said to them. Young Master Wang, what's your plan? Feng Yun stared at him with some doubt and asked. I have an assassin organization under me. I would like to try and see if they can withstand the assassination attempt by the Dragon Thorns. The corner of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. Ever since he came to the Transcendence continent, he had started off by relying on the Dragon Thorns assassin organization. From the start, the ones he valued the most and the ones he nurtured the most were the Strange Demon and the rest. In the vast region, during the 8 months he was resurrected, it was because of the existence of Strange Demon and the others that he was able to contend against the Lone Sect and the Southern Royal Family. However, Strange Demon's strength at that time wasn't very strong, and he didn't carry out unbridled assassinations. This time, he came to the central stage of the extraordinary continent. It was time for Strange Demon and the others to perform. Dragon Attack can kill a piece of the sky. He is looking forward to. Chapter 1647. 1647-1547 went in alone. Thank you, young Master Wang, for coming to help us this time. Let me bring you to the front of the battlefield. The information you need is there. If you still need anything, just tell me. This old woman. Feng Yun looked at Wang Xian and thanked him from the bottom of her heart. All right, let's go now. Wang Xian nodded. Let's go. Feng Yun nodded his head and gestured to them. Then, he waved his arm. The scene changed and they were in the sky above the fiery cloud mountain range. Feng Yun waved his arm again and brought them forward. After teleporting for 5 consecutive times, Wang Xian and the rest appeared in front of a mountain peak at the front of the fiery cloud mountain range. In front of the mountain peak, there was an incomparably huge city. There were over 10 million people in the city. Currently, the entire city was surrounded by a formation. Only the huge city gate in front of them was open. People with a murderous aura were coming in and out of the city. These are the 2 sects that are attached to our Fire Cloud Sparrow. They are not weak either. Feng Yun explained to Wang Xian. Following that, she moved and brought him into the last Fire Cloud Mountain. Flames enveloped the area. They stepped across a river of lava and entered the foot of the mountain. There's an information department in front. All the information regarding the Life and Death Pill Workshop, the Forging Workshop for Holy Items, and the war will be sent here. These information are real-time. Basically, They can be guaranteed to be accurate. If young Master Wang wants to see any information, just tell the person inside. Feng Yun and the rest brought Wang Xian inside. Patriarch, Queen, Clan Elder. After they entered, the Fire Cloud Sparrow's clansmen hurriedly shouted respectfully. Do your thing. The Fire Cloud Queen waved at them. Young Master Wang, let Huoguduo follow you for the next period of time. If you need anything, just tell her directly. Feng Yun brought him to the information department to take a look before instructing a woman behind him. Young Master Wang. The woman at level 9 of the see-through realm shouted at Wang Xian. Alright, I'll take a look at the information here first. You guys go ahead and do what you need to do. Wang Xian nodded and said to them. Alright. Feng Yun nodded. Wang Xian didn't stand on ceremony and walked straight in. He asked for all the information about the war, the life and death pill workshop, and the holy item forging workshop. The woman called Huoguduo stood at the side. Feng Yun and the rest took a look at Wang Xian before leaving. Young Master Wang is here. I wonder if you can alleviate the plight of our Fire Cloud Sparrow. All the higher-ups of the Fire Cloud Sparrow came to a room and the Queen of Fire Cloud said slowly. As long as nothing happens to young Master Wang, it's fine. We don't ask for anything else. The Empress still needs him. Feng Yun waved her hand and said. All the higher-ups of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan nodded their heads. They didn't expect young Master Wang to be able to help them too much. All they wanted was to be safe. Their Empress still needed young Master Wang's help. Wang Xian wasn't too surprised by the attitude of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan towards him. He sat at the position of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan's information department and checked all the resources. Information was imprinted into his mind one by one. This gave him a detailed understanding of this war. This war was no longer an ordinary battle. It involved a radius of tens of thousands of kilometers and involved billions of people. After all, this was a battle between the top forces under the Transcendent Continent Empire. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop had deep financial resources. At present, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan had always been at a disadvantage. With the addition of the Holy Fire clan, the situation had eased up a lot. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop didn't want to become mortal enemies with the Holy Fire clan. The Holy Fire clan didn't want to bear the name of being ungrateful, so they only sent a few people to brush it off. As the situation eased up, it turned into sneak attacks and assassinations, which were no more harmful than large-scale direct collisions. This also caused the major factions to treat this place as a training ground for their disciples. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop even evaluated and rewarded their disciples based on the number of Firelark disciples they had killed. After reading through these basic information, Wang Xian went through all the information on the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop again. In his heart, he had a detailed understanding of the following actions. Young Master Wang, you've been watching for more than 10 hours. Do you want to eat something? When Wang Xian got up and walked out, Elder Huoguduo walked over and asked. There's no need. I'll make a trip to the city. Oh right, Elder Huoguduo, find me a place to stay. After I come back, I'll go straight to my place. Wang Xian said to her. All right, young Master Wang. The third cave on the mountain peak is where you'll be staying. There's a maid at the entrance while I'm next door. If you need anything, just let the maid call me. Elder Huoguduo pointed to a spot and said to Wang Xian. Okay. Wang Xian nodded and flew straight into the city. Looking at the entire huge city, most of the people inside were filled with killing intent. Wang Xian walked towards the exit. At the entrance of the city, some people were forming teams while others were looking for teammates. There were dozens of people who went out of the city to hunt for enemies. Outside the city, there was a hunting battlefield with a radius of a few thousand kilometers. The members of the Firelark tribe and the forces that were affiliated with the Firelark could also obtain huge rewards for killing enemies. Let's improve my strength first. Wang Xian walked out of the city gate and looked ahead. A forest appeared in his line of sight. The forest was a fiery red tree. It was known as the Fire Cloud Forest. The fire cloud forest covered an area of 3,000 kilometers. There were fiery beasts living in it. This place was originally the backyard garden of the fire cloud sparrow tribe. There were many spiritual herbs planted in it. Now that the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop had attacked this place had become the main battlefield. Let's go. Wang Xian moved his body and flew straight to the front. He flew straight to the void that was tens of thousands of meters away. He concealed himself and dashed forward at a fast speed. For the time being, Wang Xian didn't plan to mobilize all the strange beasts. He wanted to enter the city of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop to obtain some information. According to the information of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, the city more than 3,000 kilometers away was a base of the two major forces. If the people from the two major forces wanted to attack the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, they would have to stop here. Now, that place had become their supply station. As a supply station on the battlefield, the number of elixirs there had definitely reached an extremely high level. Wang Xian wanted to get his hands on those resources. He would plunder the resources in the early stages to increase his and the strange demon's strength. After that, he would have a good time playing with them. Wang Xian looked down at the front with a hint of coldness on his face. Are we almost there? Looking at the huge city in front of him, the corner of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. Issuing missions and recruiting mercenary groups to hunt members of the Firelark tribe could reduce the loss of his own personnel. However, there was also a disadvantage. That was that it was difficult to manage. There were many people entering and exiting the city gates. Wang Xian walked in without any scruples. He went in alone. Chapter 1648. 1648-1548 What heaven's pride? A dragon among men? Go. Walk, walk, walk out of the city. Yesterday, we killed more than 10 members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Haha, this is awesome. I heard that the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has a helper, a member of the Sacred Fire clan. We have to be careful in the near future. We have already received news that the patriarch of the Sacred Fire clan did not come. The strongest one is at level 9 of the Profound Void tier. However, experts at level 9 of the Profound Void tier have experts from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop to deal with them. The peerless prodigy of the Holy Item Forging Workshop, Jiang Xinghua, who is a dragon among men, heard that he has already killed more than 200 members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. He even killed more than 10 Void Interpretation stage experts. He is simply too strong. Shui Lianyi and Shui Lianhuan from the Life and Death Pill Workshop, the Twin Pearls, killed the prodigy of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, Hu Mingyu, yesterday. He is one of the most outstanding prodigies of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan in the current generation. As soon as he stepped into the city, voices of discussion could be heard. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and scanned his surroundings. All of them were young, middle-aged, and old men who were filled with killing intent. Most of them had bloodthirsty excitement in their eyes. The war between the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe had thoroughly angered the two major factions. They did not hesitate to pay a huge sum of money to issue missions. This had caused many people who loved to fight to rush over and join in the war to participate in the hunting of the Firelark tribe members. Wang Xian looked over and a cold expression appeared in his eyes. A strange ray of light shot out from his eyes. The dragon eyes of the yin-yang and 5 elements were opened instantly. He scanned his surroundings and could sense the strength of the people around him. In a city with a population of over 10 million, the weakest among them was at least at Transcendent level 7 and above, and those at the Profound Void tier could be seen everywhere. His gaze swept over the buildings on both sides, one on the left and one on the right. Both rows were filled with shops of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Each of these two shops was thousands of meters long. High-level medicinal pills could be seen everywhere in the shops. If they were placed in the flowing sea area, it would make everyone go crazy. War was what the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Biological Pill Workshop wanted to see the most. The reason why they dared to pay such a high price to hire various mercenary groups and assassins was because they needed elixirs and weapons for mercenary groups to fight. If they bought elixirs and weapons from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop, the income of the two forces would also increase. In this way, they did not have to pay too much of a price. Every shop has a level 5 insightful void martial artist guarding it. There are also level 7 and 8 insightful void martial artists among them. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the area and continued walking forward. There are level 9 insightful void martial artists there, and there's more than one of them. That should be the center. There are 5 experts who are half a step away from longevity. This entire city is terrifyingly powerful. If it wasn't for the Firelark tribe holding them back, the Dragon Phoenix Empire would have been destroyed long ago. Wang Xian quickly walked to the center of the city. He was slightly shocked as he checked the strength of the entire city. Once his identity was exposed, he would definitely not be able to walk out of this city. Although there were no longevity experts around, there were at least 5 people who were half a step away from longevity. If I plunder the elixirs here and escape immediately. The corner of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. As long as there were no longevity realm experts around, everything would be fine. The current him could teleport twice without a break. One time would be 20 kilometers, and 2 times would be 40 kilometers. If he escaped 40 kilometers, even a half-step longevity realm expert wouldn't be able to catch him. This was especially so since all the elixir stores were located near the city gates. Wang Xian returned to the original route and arrived at the top floor of a restaurant near the city gates. His gaze swept across the area below. There are a total of 50 elixir stores. Some are big and some are small. There is only one place with an expert at level 8 of the see-through realm guarding it. There are 50 at level 5 of the see-through realm and 2 at level 7 of the see-through realm. With 500 strange demons attacking at the same time, they can take away all the elixirs from the 50 elixir stores in an instant. Then, they will fly over and enter the storage spiritual bag. They will leave in an instant. Wang Xian sipped his tea gently. He sat there quietly and watched as he pondered in his heart. It's only a distance of 2,000 meters. There is absolutely no chance of failure, Wang Xian thought to himself. Ha ha ha, young Master Jiang Xinghua, please come in, please come in. Young Master Jiang is simply too strong. He fought against more than a dozen experts of the Firelark clan alone. Impressive, impressive. At this moment, more than a dozen young men walked over from the stairway. They were laughing and conversing with each other. Hey! Jiang Xinghua, the peerless prodigy of the Holy Item Forging Workshop, the dragon among men, Jiang Xinghua. Now, he has the strength of a 5th-level void interpretation. He has shone brilliantly in this war. Is he Jiang Xinghua? I heard that he is an outstanding disciple of the current generation of the Jiang clan of the Holy Item Forging Workshop. In the restaurant, some people also looked over with curious faces. Haha, it's the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan's trash that is too weak. If it wasn't for their Fire Cloud Sparrow experts coming over, I would have been able to kill them all. The corners of Jiang Xinghua's mouth curled up slightly as he sat on the table with a face full of confidence. That's not right. Young Master Jiang, your strength is too strong. In this war, young Master Jiang, you have the demeanor of a great general. May I ask how many contemporary disciples have the demeanor of a great general like you? A few young men at the side fawned over him. Ha, serve the wine and dishes. His figure was tall and sturdy. The young man holding a heavy hammer in his hand waved his hand arrogantly. Now that I've killed 19 Fire Cloud Sparrow Cave Void Realm experts, I'm still lacking one more to be able to give a follow-up evaluation of Jiang Xingkong. I want to earn the title of the strongest heaven's favorite in the Jiang family's current generation. Haha, that's right, that's right. The disciple who performed the best in this war will be able to obtain a huge reward. I think this reward belongs to young Master Jiang Xinghua. Voices of unbridled conversation rang out. Some of the people around didn't dare to say anything. Jiang Xinghua was the current heaven's favorite of the Jiang family in the Holy Item Forging Workshop. He was the disciple of the dragon among men. A 5th-level insightful emptiness realm expert. Each title could suppress many people. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the group of people who were chatting freely and smiled faintly. Let's move out. He looked out of the window and had a thought. In the storage spirit bag in his hand, illusory shadows flew directly towards the elixir store below. 500 strange demons were moving out at the same time. The weakest among them could assassinate an expert at level 6 of the see-through realm. There were a total of 500 of them. This force was extremely terrifying even in this war. A group of strange demons flew over at an extremely fast speed. Out of the 50 elixir stores, 1 out of 10 strange demons entered. 5 of them attempted to assassinate and the other 5 took all the elixirs away. How long would this take? Just a few seconds. At this moment, Wang Xian stood up slowly and walked towards the table of Jiang Xinghua and the rest in the middle. He was holding a wine cup in his hand with a smile on his face. I have long heard of young Master Jiang's great name. Let me toast you. Wang Xian walked over and raised his wine cup towards them. Jiang Xinghua looked over and raised his eyebrows slightly. Who are you? What right do you have to toast young Master Jiang? The group of young men on the table stared at Wang Xian and said in disdain. Hualala. However, the moment they finished speaking, they saw the young man in front of them pouring his wine onto the ground. Everyone was stunned. Chapter 1649. 1649. What heaven's pride? A dragon among men? Down. Time's up. You can die now. Pa. Under the astonished gazes of everyone on the top floor of the restaurant, the wine in the unfamiliar young man's hand fell to the ground. Following that, the porcelain cup in his hand also fell to the ground. A crisp sound and cold words rang out, causing everyone in the restaurant to be slightly stunned. Buzz. Wang Xian waved his arm and a wave of destructive energy directly attacked everyone in the restaurant. What? Who are you? In the restaurant, Jiang Xinghua and the rest felt Wang Xian's terrifying attack. Their faces were filled with horror and terror. However, Wang Xian did not pay any attention to them. He stood there without saying a word and looked at everyone with an expressionless face. Run. Jiang Xinghua stood up hurriedly with a face full of horror. However, at this moment, a terrifying attack covered the entire top floor of the restaurant. His face was filled with horror as he froze. Wang Xian waved his arm and the corpses of more than 30 people on the top floor were directly stored into his interspatial ring. What heaven's pride? What dragon among men? In front of him, he was just a weakling. As the saying goes, before everyone's peerless heaven's pride, and dragon among men had matured, they were all trash. In the world of the strong, there were only the strong. Murder. At this moment, sounds of exclamations could be heard from outside. Wang Xian stood there and looked down with a smile on his face. In his line of sight, numerous strange demons were flying towards him at a terrifying speed. They entered Wang Xian's acceptance spirit pouch directly. Dragon King, it's a success. Everyone is here. Ao Yaro's voice rang in Wang Xian's ears. Let's go. Wang Xian swept a glance at the terrifying aura that surged from the center and revealed a cold smile on his face. His figure flashed and appeared 20 kilometers away in an instant. After completely fusing with the Heart of Darkness, he would also possess all of Ao Yaro's abilities. As long as it was not an attack formation that was controlled by humans, the other defensive formations would have no effect on him. After 2 flashes, his figure appeared 40 kilometers away. Wang Xian flew further away based on the memories in his mind. Who did it? Who did it? Reporting to Grand Elder, all the members in the 50 shops of our Life and Death Elixir Workshop have disappeared. All the elixirs have also disappeared. Less than 3 seconds after Wang Xian left, figures with a terrifying aura flew over. An old man with the words life and death embroidered on his clothes roared angrily. His body trembled when he heard the report from his subordinates. What did you say? All the members have disappeared and all the elixirs have disappeared. The old man scanned his surroundings furiously. With a wave of his hand, he attacked the tallest tower in the city. Wang. A terrifying energy directly surrounded the entire city, and the city was directly sealed. What's going on? What happened? Why is the city closed? That seems to be the Grand Elder of the Life and Death Pill Workshop. It seems like the Life and Death Pill Workshop has been ransacked. All the people have disappeared. How is this possible? Every pill workshop has a 5th-level profound void martial artist guarding it. There are a total of 50 5th-level profound void martial artists. When everyone in the entire city saw the formation seal, their faces revealed a shocked expression as they discussed in succession. How is it possible to raid 50 of your shops in an instant? This is absolutely not something that one person can accomplish. Each shop has an expert guarding it. This requires at least 100 6th rank void interpretation experts to be able to do it. However, even if there are 100 experts at the 6th level of the void interpretation realm, they wouldn't be able to move so fast. Where are they now? The expert from the Holy Item Forging Workshop scanned his surroundings. With a wave of his arm, one one-eyed crow after another flew over from the center of the city. There were over a dozen cyan crows that were more than 10 meters in size. They had a single eye between their brows, and they looked somewhat terrifying. "Eye crows, check if there are any suspicious people," the expert from the Holy Item Forging Workshop said directly. "It's the Grand Elder." The dozen cyan crows spoke in human language and hovered in the sky above the city. Their huge eyes coldly swept over everyone. Under the eye crow's eyes, no one who was suspicious could hide. Even half a step to longevity can't do it in just a few seconds. A supreme elder of the Holy Item Forging Workshop frowned. Fortunately, it wasn't their Holy Item Forging Workshop that was robbed this time. But even so, at this moment, it made them a little nervous. Our Life and Death Pill Workshop put tens of thousands of insightful void tier pills here. There are also hundreds of thousands of pills below insightful void tier. There are also 50 experts above the 5th rank of the profound void tier. It must be the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. It must be their doing. An angry voice was spat out from the mouths of the 2 Grand Elders of the Life and Death Pill Workshop. They directly floated in the sky as they swept their surroundings with dense expressions. So many medicinal pills. This was an incomparably huge blow to their Life and Death Pill Workshop. It was no exaggeration to say that 1/10 of the medicinal pills in their entire Life and Death Pill Workshop were here. It was even more than the losses from the previous war with the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan shouldn't have this ability. Could it be that they found some helpers? The Supreme Elder of the Holy Item Forging Workshop frowned. Facing such a terrifying clan like the Fire Cloud Sparrow, they were filled with fear everywhere. After all, that was once the personal guard race of the #1 Empress of the continent. Damn it, damn it. Search for me, search the entire area. The 2 half-step longevity experts from the Life and Death Elixir Workshop roared furiously. Everyone in the city was filled with shock. It seems that half-step longevity is not as powerful as I thought. Wang Xian flew in the sky with a smile on his face. In fact, the gap between Wang Xian and half-step longevity was not huge. Half-step longevity meant that they could teleport after comprehending the 9th level of the domain. They could use their domain to suppress their enemies. However, the distance of their teleportation was about the same as the distance of Wang Xian's current teleportation. The only difference was that they had one more domain to attack. Although there was a gap between Wang Xian and them, the gap was not too big. There are so many elixirs here. Taking out a quarter of them is enough to raise Ao Yarrow's level. Wang Xian looked at the elixirs in his interspatial ring and smiled. He came to a safe place in the sky and swallowed all the elixirs. One by one, the pills were converted into dragon energy. Tens of thousands of insightful void-level pills were swallowed. Under hundreds of thousands of insightful void-level pills, the top-tier pills among transcendents were swallowed. Following that, Wang Xian transferred the dragon energy to Ao Yarrow's body. A 7th-level insightful void-level dragon species, fighting 2 levels above it. Chapter 1650. 1650 The 1650 humans and dragons merged into one. It's the right decision to come here. I can kill without any scruples and plunder without any scruples. Looking at Ao Yarrow's improvement in strength, Wang Xian revealed a smile. In the vast region, unless he destroyed the 3 superpowers, It was impossible for him to obtain so many resources. However, he could obtain them easily here. Killing people and plundering goods. War was the fastest way to make a fortune. Wang Xian continued to fly into the distance. He took a look at his attributes and realized that he still needed half of the resources needed to level up. I'll be able to level up with a few tens of thousands of elixirs above the insightful void realm. Wang Xian thought to himself. After all, his current strength was only at the 4th level of the insightful void realm. Even if he needed a huge amount of dragon chi to level up, a few tens of thousands of elixirs at the insightful void realm would still be able to increase his strength. Profound void tier medicinal pills were considered relatively precious items in the central continent region. My next target is one of the 2 great medicinal pill holy lands of the Life and Death Pill Workshop, the Heavenly Medicine Valley. As the Life and Death Pill Workshop that had stood tall for 70 to 80,000 years in the entire Transcendence continent, their foundations were extremely terrifying. They were able to open the medicinal pill workshop all over the Transcendence continent. Most importantly, they possessed 2 paradises. One was the Life and Death Medicinal Garden, the other was the Heavenly Medicine Valley. Among them, the Life and Death Medicinal Garden was the main headquarters of the Life and Death Medicinal Garden. At its core, there were longevity experts who guarded it all year round. Once the longevity experts left, the array formation would be activated. It would be very difficult for the longevity experts to enter. And the importance of the Heavenly Medicine Valley was slightly lower than the Life and Death Medicinal Garden. However, it also had the protection of a longevity level array formation. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens to break in. According to the records of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan regarding the Life and Death Elixir Workshop, the Divine Herb Valley is guarded by half-step longevity level powerhouses all year round. However, during this war, the strength of the guards over there should be reduced by more than half. Most of them rely on the formation to protect them. The defensive formation is useless to me. The corner of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. Knowing oneself, knowing one's enemy, and winning every battle. He had come here to help the Firelark tribe. What he valued the most was the corpses of the experts and the elixirs from the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. The corpses of the experts could be placed in the dragon pool to increase the strength of the dragon palace. The elixirs were self-evident. As long as I can obtain the elixirs and spiritual herbs in the Heaven Herb Valley, even if I get a portion of them, it will be enough for me to increase my strength by 1 level. Once I increase my strength by 1 level, I will be equivalent to the strongest person under the longevity realm. Next, in this war, I will be able to go all out, Wang Xian thought to himself. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly as he flew rapidly towards the Heaven Herb Valley. It would take a long time for Wang Xian to fly a distance of 50,000 kilometers. Along the way, he passed by some cities. Some of them belonged to the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. However, Wang Xian did not make a move. He was prepared to have a big fight. After walking and stopping, Wang Xian spent a day to arrive at the Heaven Herb Valley of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. It is said that these mountains are the founders of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. With great power, they moved the mountains over and formed a valley. Every mountain peak is filled with powerful formations. If one wishes to barge in under the age of 10,000 years, they can be destroyed immediately. Even if one is at level 1 or level 2 of the Longevity Elixir Workshop, it would be very difficult to enter. Wang Xian looked at the valley surrounded by 40 to 50 mountains of 6 to 7,000 meters in front of him. His eyes were flashing with madness. Opening his dragon eyes of yin and yang and the 5 elements, Wang Xian scanned the surrounding area of 100 kilometers vigilantly. Within the radius of 100 kilometers, every trace was within his sight. Wang Xian concealed his figure. His ability to conceal himself was not any weaker than Ao Yaroiro's. Flying up to a height of 10,000 meters, Wang Xian looked down. Hey! I can't even penetrate the formation. As expected of a formation that can withstand a longevity expert. Wang Xian looked down and realized that the dragon eyes of the yin-yang and 5 elements were unable to penetrate the formation. A hint of surprise appeared on his face. He hesitated for a moment and slowly descended. Buzz. Without the slightest fluctuation, Wang Xian easily penetrated the formation and floated in the sky above the entire Heaven Herb Valley. What a terrifying spiritual energy, what a terrifying medicinal fragrance. The moment he entered the formation, an extremely dense spiritual energy rushed over directly. At the same time, a powerful spiritual medicinal fragrance rushed over. Just taking a deep breath made one feel refreshed. The spiritual energy and the fragrance of the herbs here are comparable to the Dragon Palace. As expected of a force on the mainland. They really have a deep foundation. Wang Xian floated in the sky in amazement. Cultivating here was comparable to the Dragon Palace. One could imagine how terrifying it was. Of course, it was impossible for the Life and Death Elixir Workshop to let people cultivate here. This was because cultivating here would destroy the spiritual herbs here. The spiritual herbs here, hiss. When Wang Xian looked down, he revealed an extremely shocked expression. The spiritual herbs were divided into 9 domains based on the formation. Each domain contained spiritual herbs and spiritual trees of various attributes. Every domain had a radius of 10 kilometers. The entire Heaven's Herb Valley covered an area of more than 50 kilometers. However, within this 50-kilometer area, there were hundreds of millions of spirit herbs and spirit trees planted. At the very center, a 20-meter-tall spirit tree with luxuriant branches stood there quietly. The entire spirit tree was emitting a fiery red light. The light covered an area of 200 meters, creating a space of its own. On top of it, there were many fruits. One of the fruit trees was so red that it was purple. It was emitting a gentle flame, while the others were somewhat green. A longevity-level spirit tree and a longevity-level spirit fruit. As expected of a force on the mainland. There are even spirit trees of this level. Wang Xian was extremely shocked. He gulped and looked around. Half-step longevity level, 9th level and 8th level spirit herbs and spirit trees were everywhere. However, many of the spirit herbs and spirit trees were not fully ripe yet. Plucking the spirit herbs before they fully matured would cause great losses. As the Heaven's Medicine Valley of the Life and Death Pill Workshop, they would only pluck these spirit herbs and spirit trees when they matured. They had been planting these spirit herbs and spirit trees for tens of thousands of years. This is their foundation. Even if the Fire Cloud Sparrow can completely defeat the Life and Death Pill Workshop in this war, they won't fall in an instant. As long as the Heaven Herb Valley is around, there is still a high chance for them to rise up, not to mention their base camp, the Life and Death Elixir Garden. The foundation of some factions was really terrifying. 3 people who are half-step to longevity, 15 people who are at the 9th level of the Void Interpretation stage, and 30 people who are at the 8th level of the Void Interpretation stage. This is the power of protection. This is also the hidden power of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he swept his gaze downwards. With such a strong power, once he appeared, he would definitely be smashed into pieces. However, the entire valley is divided into 9 places by the formation. Only 3 places are guarded by a half-step to longevity expert. The rest of the places are not guarded. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly. If he could obtain all the spiritual herbs in the entire Heaven Herb Valley, he would be able to advance by at least 2 or even 3 levels consecutively. Chapter 1651. 1651 The 1651 humans and dragons merged into one. In the dark and light herb garden that is covered by the formation, the defense is the weakest. Let's go to these 2 places first. Wang Xian scanned the area below him with his dragon eyes that seemed to be able to see through the void and the netherworld. He tried his best to conceal his figure and slowly flew towards the dark herb garden below. Perhaps it was because no one had infiltrated the Celestial Herb Valley in the past tens of thousands of years. Although there seemed to be many powerhouses in the entire valley, no one had discovered him. Wang Xian came to the sky above the dark herb garden. He moved his body and entered directly. The moment he entered, Wang Xian saw 5 figures inside. 5 old men dressed in Life and Death Elixir Workshop uniforms were refining elixirs. They did not notice Wang Xian who had entered. Buzz. He waved his arm and a wave of destructive energy engulfed the 5 of them. The 5 powerhouses at the 8th level of the see-through void tier were instantly killed. Even if it's the smallest dark herb garden, there are at least 1,000,000 spiritual herbs in there. Wang Xian looked at the herb garden with a burning look in his eyes. Without any hesitation, he threw all the elixirs into the storage spiritual bag. He didn't spare even the low-level spiritual herbs. 5 minutes later, Wang Xian passed through the formation and entered the herb garden of light. There were more experts in the protection of light than in the herb garden of darkness. However, there were also some experts at level 8 of the see-through realm. Wang Xian waved his arm and continued to wipe them out. Then, he began to plunder the herb garden in a frenzy. There are experts at level 9 of the see-through realm guarding the herb garden of wind attribute. However, with Ao Yarrow and myself around, there shouldn't be much of a problem. Following the same method, Wang Xian released Ao Yarrow and the two of them sneaked into the herb garden of wind attribute. Now that Wang Xian possessed an assassination technique that was no weaker than Ao Yarrow, he easily worked together with Ao Yarrow to eliminate the 2 9th-level profound void martial stage cultivators in the wind attribute herb garden. Just like that, there was no commotion at all. Wang Xian brought Ao Yarrow into the 6 herb gardens of light, dark, wind, thunder, water, and earth. There are half-step longevity experts in the remaining 3 herb gardens. It's impossible for me to assassinate them. Standing in the earth attribute herb garden, Wang Xian looked at the other 3 areas. The other 3 areas were the largest areas in the entire herb garden. The level and quantity of the spiritual herbs there were much higher than the spiritual herbs he obtained. There's no rush. After I absorb the spiritual herbs in my hands, I will have invincible strength below longevity. When the time comes, I can completely crush these 3 half-step longevity masters with my powerful strength, Wang Xian thought to himself. His heart was burning with passion. If he could obtain the resources of the entire herb garden, wouldn't he be able to fight against longevity? I will be discovered if I make a breakthrough here. I still have to go out and make a breakthrough, Wang Xian thought to himself. His eyes were burning as he looked at the longevity-level spiritual tree in the center. After hesitating for a moment, he resisted the temptation and flew out. A longevity-level spirit tree could be called a demigod tree. This type of spirit tree had its own domain and possessed spirituality. Even the divine tree above the longevity level possessed extremely terrifying combat strength. It was comparable to the godly state and was extremely heaven-defying. If he wanted to pick fruits from this type of spirit tree, it would definitely cause a commotion. Bear with it for a while. The situation in the other 6 herb gardens will not be discovered. Wang Xian moved his body and flew out of the Heaven Herb Valley without causing any ripples. After flying out of the valley, he arrived 40 kilometers away in 2 flashes. He took out the spiritual herbs from his storage spiritual bag. There were tens of millions of spiritual herbs. Among them, there were hundreds of thousands of spiritual herbs at the void interpretation level. However, there were only about 100,000 spiritual herbs that were fully matured. The rest of the spiritual herbs were not mature yet. However, this was enough. Wang Xian threw the spiritual herbs into his mouth one by one and quickly swallowed them. The dragon energy in his body was increasing at a terrifying speed. Ding! Congratulations to host for achieving a breakthrough in your level. As you have comprehended the strongest aspect of the 5 elements, the great grinding of the 5 elements has further strengthened your body and strengthened your dragon tail. Ding! Congratulations to host for comprehending the aspect, divine dragon tail swing. Ding! 5 elements grinding strengthen dragon claw, dragon head, dragon body, dragon tail, strengthen the whole body, complete man-dragon unity. Name, Wang Xian. Race, yin-yang dragon of 5 elements, man and dragon in one. Level, Hollow 5, dragon transformation, 3rd transformation. Dragon glass, 31,233. 11,276. 4,010,000,000 billion. Avatar, rules the water tribe below its level. Devourer of life to extract dragon glass. Control the 5 elements. Kung Fu, dragon transformation. Supernatural power, soul, spirit, yin and yang 5 elements dragon eyes. Facsimile, 5 elements big mill, palm dragon country, dragon head world, 10,000 li dragon body, yin and yang poles, yin and yang 5 elements bowl, dragon tail. Dragon Palace, Level 3. Members of Dragon Palace, 20003. KAKAKA. A powerful force washed over Wang Xian's body. His entire dragon body doubled in size, reaching a height of 300 meters. 5 colored rays of light circulated around his body. The power of light and darkness enveloped the surrounding space. A powerful and invincible aura was emitted from his body. Phew, I've made a breakthrough. After this breakthrough, I'm one step closer to the peak of the supernatural continent. Wang Xian slowly opened his eyes. A powerful pressure spread out in the surroundings. He moved his body and transformed into his human form to feel his body. A smile appeared on his face. The breakthrough this time was no surprise. His dragon tail had become stronger. What surprised him was that he had become one with the dragon. On his attribute panel, he could transform into a human and become one with the dragon. This meant that even if Wang Xian didn't transform into a divine dragon, he would have the combat strength of a half-step to the peak of longevity. There was no difference between the human form and the divine dragon form. When he raised his arm, he could immediately transform into a dragon claw that was a few kilometers in size. When he opened his mouth, he could transform into a dragon head that was a few kilometers in size. This was the human-dragon unity. Every upgrade is a qualitative change. Next, it will be the entire Heaven Herb Valley. Wang Xian immediately turned his head and looked into the Heaven Herb Valley. His face was filled with excitement. Boom! Just as Wang Xian was about to enter the Heaven Herb Valley again, a raging fire suddenly rose in the valley ahead. The fire directly shot tens of thousands of meters into the sky. The entire Heaven Herb Valley was like a terrifying furnace. What's going on? Is the formation activated? Wang Xian's expression changed slightly as he looked at the terrifying flames. The blazing flames dyed the entire sky red. The air was burning and a wave of heat surged over. They discovered the disappearance of the spiritual herbs in the 6 herb gardens. They activated the formation immediately. Wang Xian's pupils constricted slightly. This kind of attack and defense formation was one. Once it was activated, it would be surrounded by a forbidden area. Under such circumstances, even if he could ignore the formation, he wouldn't be able to enter it. The heavens are really unfair. I can't believe I was discovered so quickly. If I can still enter. Wang Xian was a little unwilling. If he could enter, his strength would be able to increase by 1 level. At that time, his combat strength that was comparable to the longevity realm would be able to fight head-on with Feng Yun and the other 2 forces.